Hello, welcome back to Football United TV. This is a strange live we're doing right now with Charlotte, Charlie, and Anthony. We've been chatting all night. We've been on Stephen's vlog, and I thought, you know what, let's do a live vlog right now with you guys. How you doing? Let's get it going. What was we talking about? And the headline mainly is about how weird the Premier League season. Not only that, but most leagues in Europe, especially, been very strange. And why is that? What's going on? How are you all anyway?
Good. Thank you very much, my friend. It should be said, like, one of the main reasons this might be the very first stream on football for the sole reason of us really liking each other and liking to talk to one another. And then we came up with a subject. That's about it.
Literally.
It's like we had no reason to do it.
Oh, that's literally, yeah.
What do you make of this subject, though? Like, what? Let's go with you, Anthony, mate. What is it been a weird season overall? Not just talking about Arsenal's perspective, but in general.
Yeah, it's been a real weird season, Matt. I mean, to be honest with you, with our win today over Brighton, it's that close, really. I mean, think of it, we're only 6 points behind Chelsea, and where Chelsea are in the league, then obviously, with Tottenham, Manchester United wins today, they're second. It's so much that the league is unpredictable at the moment. You can't really predict a winner at the moment. So, and who's going to finish in that top four, and also the Europa League place. But it's so close and tight.
Do you agree with that, Charlie? I know you got a little confession to make as well, Charlie. You were saying in the last stream that you might want to let us know what it is, but I'll let you say.
I'd say it's a promise. It's just that for a long time, and that mainly came from Prime. He kept on saying that Spurs are going to win the league and we're getting relegated. And I promise, if that happens, I'm going to make a photo shoot of myself wearing nothing but a Spurs shirt and a G-string. I'm going to post it everywhere. You can clip that. It is going to happen. It's going to look lovely.
Oh, my God.
But it's going to be more fun for you guys and for me. But, for that, it requires for Spurs to actually win an important title. So I think I'm safe.
You know what? I actually think you're safe too. But then again, you never know. But, important titles includes the FA Cup, right?
No, but I'm saying them winning the league and us getting relegated.
Oh. I mean, yeah, that's really unlikely.
It is.
They haven't
People
won
are going to root for it to happen a little more now, but it's extremely unlikely that it will happen.
Yeah, I don't think I'm rooting for it anymore. I still want Everton to win.
That'd be dope.
No, I genuinely want Everton to win. Do you know what? I think this season could be like the Leicester season where Leicester won and it literally was boom, Leicester won. I'm not saying it might. I would like it to be Everton. I think they've played really well so far this season. They're quite a dangerous team. However, any Liverpool fan anyone that's a Liverpool fan doesn't want Everton to win, and I then want Everton to win. Apart from them being a great team, but
I'd be really happy. Richarlison's one of my favorite players. I'd be so excited if they actually won the league. That'd be really cool.
And Calvert-Lewin.
If it's not Arsenal, he's an Arsenal fan. He deserves to win.
I mean, he is such a talent. That man in the air, Calvert-Lewin in the air, is dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
You make it sound like a fighter pilot or something.
Well, man, he could be in the air. He could be. Let me tell you, he could be a fighter pilot in a football stadium. You ain't telling me that's not true.
He does lift off. He's a really.
He lifts off, and I look at the floor, and I'm like, "Where's the trampoline?" And then there's no trampoline. I'm like, "Shit, this man's doing it all by himself."
Like in the movie, they jump out of the windows, and then they land on the old padding soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he doesn't have that. That's real grass that he goes on there.
I know.
It's weird. Like he wasn't doing much last season, was it? Was he? Like I don't remember him doing this much.
He'd caught my eye in a couple of matches. In a couple of matches, he'd like done something, but then it wasn't particularly like every match. It was like I think there was like 3 matches in the season that he caught my eye on that I'd watched. There might have been more, but this season he's really like it's like boom, like it's like I was like shit. Where did this come from? Like when did you decide to turn up?
Yeah, someone in his family is a witch who did a curse that stole Aubameyang's spark and put it on him. Because it's just mind blowing.
That's a fair point.
It is a fair point. Yeah, like one was just like one of the best strikers in the world. Like, I'm talking about goals scored, right?
Yeah,
I know there's some that look more talented, and the other one was just okay. Now all of a sudden, one looks like one of the best strikers, at least in England. Let's not say the world, because that'd be a little too much. But Aubameyang is underperforming deeply. But sorry, I should try to stay on topic though. I agree with Anthony. This season's looking really weird. And as you were saying before we went live, like it's not only in the Prem. You think of like when's the last time that Italy didn't have Juventus in the top and La Liga didn't have Real Madrid or Barca at the top? That's exactly what's happening right now.
But I feel like this is a weird kind of thing because you have all these big teams who you're so used to seeing right at the top, either in first, second, third, or fourth. Like it doesn't matter. And the fact that they're like, oh, Matt, piss off! Like, for real, come on! Like, the fact that they're like not is concerning because it's not just in like the German league, the Bundesliga. It's not in the League One. It's everywhere. Like, I don't know what's going on or what kind of jus is being used, but something is not right. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, something doesn't seem right. It's like this weekend. Put it this weekend when you had Manchester United and Leicester that dropped 2 points each, and then Chelsea dropped points, and then Liverpool dropped points, and I'm like, all these teams are dropping points, and I'm like, usually like every team would be gaining points. Instead, they're like all dropping points. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I was saying that
it seems to be changing from that 2nd to 5th spot. You know, that they're all going up and teams are coming down and they're going back up again. It's going backwards and forwards. So,
but it's like the minute one team drop points, everybody else drops points. Like it's weird. It's like that one team sets up a domino effect for every team to lose points. Then, like
I mean, the last time I checked the league, Leicester was 2nd.
And to be fair, Liverpool shouldn't be first because they have dropped. Like they haven't been playing like. Yes, they've had a couple of games that they've played like champions, but the game they had this weekend and the game they had against Aston Villa, this whole season has not been a Liverpool season, if you know what I mean. Like last season, they came out guns blazing. They wanted it. They didn't even. There was no mercy. It was just animal cruelty to every team. Like, and now it's literally like they have weaknesses. And you can blame it on Virgil van Dijk being out. I don't care how many times you blame it on a player being out. There isn't an excuse. If you are the current Premier League title holders, there is not an excuse for you slacking. What? Because you've won it, that means you don't have to defend it. That's not how it works. A title means you have to defend it. And you defend it with everything you've got. You don't just defend it with like maybe I'll play well this game. Is it you defend it. Because you've got teams like bloody Aston Villa beating them 7-2. Like, they drew 1-1. They should not have been drawing 1-1. They should have been beating. They should have won 3 or 4-1. Period. End of.
Yeah. It's I mean, I don't necessarily agree with you when I look at what they actually have available because Klopp is doing bits. Like they don't have center backs playing anymore. Like they've played with Fabinho as a center back for most of the league now. But it's pretty mind-blowing to me that with the short amount of players they have in that position, Liverpool didn't buy a center back in the transfer window. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I know the options they had up top weren't performing, but they still had like Shaqiri. They had that is a Japanese kid. I forgot his name. Minamino, something like that. They had some options. I'm just talking numbers. In the back, they don't. And they spent a whole lot of money on Diego Jota, and they didn't bring anyone in the back. They brought like a Greek left back. But Robbo is actually one of the players that doesn't get injured. He actually injures the players.
Indiana's in the house. How are you doing, mate?
Life's good, is it not? Life is good right now.
How did you feel about the result against Wolves tonight, mate? Let's go into that for a little bit here.
How did I feel about it? I still don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. We were talking, me and you, we were messaging each other through the game. And these players worry me. They worry me. They get my heart going. Because for me, all they had to do was move the ball quicker and move off the ball quicker, and the game was done. We have all the quality. And it wasn't until the last moment where Bruno picks up the ball and instinctively puts it over the top, and Rashford makes that run. That could have been done earlier. Do you know, that's where I'm frustrated. I'm buzzing about the win. Even when we play badly, right now we get the wins. And anybody who's old enough to remember Fergie days knows that not every game was perfect or great, but we used to be able to nick wins like that. And I love it. As a United fan, I love it.
That's what I was saying, and that's what I thought Chelsea lacked definitely yesterday, right, Charlotte? Like, you know what I mean? Like, sorry to say it.
Do you know what?
Good,
The Chelsea game absolutely got my back off. Like, because the El Ghazi goal was literally because we got sloppy and we didn't concentrate anymore. Like, we really were sloppy, and the minute we lose concentration is the minute they get another goal. Like, it's ridiculous. And the fact is, if you look at the West Ham game when we played and we won 3-0, like, on the first 20 minutes, we actually attacked, and we got the goal. And then it's like we just switched off and like the lights were on, but no one's home. And then we get to like the 70th minute and then we decide to turn on again. Like, but I feel like a lot of teams are feeling like this at the minute, because a lot of teams are like,
sorry, Charlotte, sorry.
and I feel like a lot of teams are like struggling to switch on completely through the match. And that's why I think a lot of teams are dropping points at the minute. And I don't know if it's due to COVID or fitness or whatever it is, but a lot of teams are dropping points. And I don't really understand the answer, but I know that people are switching off during the show, like during the match, like they're switching off, like, and you can't have that as players.
For Chelsea, right? I don't know what the drama's about. I really don't. I see huge comparisons between Chelsea and Man United when Ollie first came in. Huge comparisons. Apart from the fact that you have a board and owner who completely back the managers and want to win things and have ambition. Like, you've been out and bought 6 new players. You're trying to integrate them into a side. It's not easy. You've had COVID, congested fixtures. They've come from a different league. Like, this is not an easy thing to get them all to click.
I'm not one of those fans that's excluding the excuses. Like, I understand that. I take that on board. However, my problem is Frank makes mistakes but can't rectify them. If you look at last season, Frank took more risks and was making more decisions based on, if we didn't have a game, he'd take a risk the next game. Frank's not doing that. We're playing a 4-3-3 until it doesn't work. A 4-3-2-1, like, until it doesn't work. Like, when is this going to end? Like, genuinely, like, this obviously isn't working. Find a way to work it that it actually looks decent.
But is that not a player problem? Like, because for me, with United, it was a player problem. Frank's a young manager for one.
But then if you look at like the Arsenal game, why did he bring on Havertz instead of Giroud? Giroud, an ex-Arsenal player with experience, who should have started, in my opinion. Abraham shouldn't have started at all. But the fact that he brought Havertz on instead of like Giroud, who's actually would have done better. Like,
maybe he's got to manage his game time. He has played a lot recently, and for me, I don't care about Timo Werner. You should just forget about him until next season. Like, he's got to bed in. For me, Giroud is your number one striker. I've been on Monster's channel with you before. I've been telling you this. I think Giroud is your best finisher. I'm not going to lie.
this annoys me because like I was always like ready for Timo Werner to like come in and take place, but Giroud's shown me this season that he is capable of a lot more and he's ready to do a lot more. And I feel like the fact that we're not giving him a chance does my nut in. And the minute we start him and we have a bad game, it's like, oh, Giroud's shit. Like, and our fans are massive twats. Excuse my French here, but they really are.
They
like,
wanted to sell him in the window.
Like, I don't. I've never wanted to sell Giroud in my life. The only thing I've said about any of those three, Abraham, Werner and Giroud, is that I think Abraham should go on loan next season or for the rest of this season. Not because I don't think he's a good player, but I think he needs that experience because there are a few mistakes he makes and he can't make them in the team, like, because that's where he's getting all this backlash from. And I don't want him to have backlash. He's young and he's learning. But if he goes to a lower league side, like Ethan Ampadu done or Lamptey's done in Brighton.
He did, and he smashed it. He smashed it at
Yeah,
Bristol City. I watched him live many times. I've watched him, but then that's not the player I'm seeing now. And that's the problem I have, is because I'm like, do you function better with like what's going on? Like, because when I saw you against Bristol City, mate, you absolutely nailed it. Like, you were on fire. But but that's not the player I see. I see Bambi on ice. Like, so, I don't mean to be horrible. It's not like he's a bad player, but there's just the runs he doesn't make. The passes, like there was a pass against Arsenal. He just kicked it up in the air, and I'm like, "Hun, you're not playing rugby." Is it a player problem though?
I think. Do you know what? I think it's a 50-50. I think it's 50-50. You can't just blame the players and you can't just blame the manager. But realistically,
I didn't mean like
but
that.
Realistically, the players are quite a problem, because if you look at how they turned up against Arsenal, where the hell were they? The lights were on, but no one was home. Look against Aston Villa. We should have beaten. No offense, Charlie and Anthony. We should have beaten Arsenal. We should have beaten Aston Villa. If you look at our team on paper, we should have beaten you guys. And the fact that we didn't is an issue for me, because the players didn't turn up. The players against Arsenal are screaming at the TV like, come on, turn the bloody lights on. And then Frank decided not to bring Giroud on, and I'm screaming at the TV like, do I shout at the players? Do I shout at Frank for not bringing? Because I think that was Frank's mistake, but the players not turning up is not Frank's problem. Frank can only do so much. He can give you the tactics and give you everything else, but when you get on that pitch, it's your turn to show that you can turn up, not anyone else's job. And if you can't do that, I don't care if you're Timo Werner. I don't care if you're Neymar. I don't care if you're Ronaldo. If you're not going to give me 1,000% on that pitch, I don't want you on Chelsea. I don't want you on my team. If you're not going to give me 1,000% every time you turn up on that pitch, I'll happily sell you. I don't care. Like, I really don't. If you're not going to turn up, why would I want you on my team?
Matt, do you remember when Man United fans were like this about Martial with Timo Werner?
Yeah.
Do you remember when it was like 50 million down the drain? Martial scores again. Don't be nicking our song either. Make it up your own Timo song. We're having that.
I wanna address the Giroud thing, because I totally agree with you. He's a really good player. He should be getting more minutes. But honestly, I don't think he would have been a good matchup for him at that Arsenal game. Oh, what do you say? Yo, Charles. You already mugging us
again
in Steven's stream, or you're gonna do that in Matt's stream as well. Calm down, mate. If you want to talk garbage, talk in one place.
I can't even read what he says. What did he say?
Tottenham will win Carabao Cup, Europa League, FA Cup on this season. Arsenal will get relegated. Trust me, this will happen.
Stop doing drugs right now.
Just to clarify, this kid,
or do better ones.
He put the Carabao Cup first. That's not a fucking cup. That's not a cup I take pride in. I don't fucking care. Like, cool story.
Oh, you should under Frank, though.
No one
should under Frank. You should
no. For Tottenham, it's not a.
For Tottenham, it's a massive cup for Tottenham. They haven't won anything in years. It's a huge cup for them. That's like the World Cup. If they can win that cup, it is. No, think about this, right?
No, I'm laughing because this is true.
How long is Harry Kane going to stay at Spurs without winning anything?
I personally think this is his last
when
season.
can these Spurs
I think this
players
is his last
start
season.
performing at the top level? They're just not going to do it. Man City take this cup very seriously because Mourinho and Pep, they both take this cup seriously because they believe it can kickstart your season, keep you hungry, make you hungry for more trophies. So it should be Spurs P1, really, I think.
I don't want to be a dick, Indiana, but what do you guys know about the World Cup? Brazil.
Oh, he's shouting out Brazil now. You can times, but I'll let Indiana go back on that one.
No, he said it.
That was it.
Yeah, he said it.
No banner from you, Charlie. Then no one. Yeah, we're on your side actually. To be fair, Brazil are.
We've won it. We've won it. We have won it.
We have won it. Yeah.
No, yeah, but
then he's going to say how many times they've won it, and then
there we go. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to touch on that. I actually only watched one, but
we got cheated by your neighbours. We got cheated by your neighbours. Remember?
Yeah, but it's the 1966 World Cup is famous as being a really dodgy one as well. So like it balances out.
It doesn't matter.
Bunny, it's my stream.
Yes.
So what, Indiana? What do you think is so weird about the Premier League and most other leagues this season? We were talking about that, the fact that everything's a bit off, isn't it? You don't know what's happening. Charlie said that Arsenal were about 8 or so points off of getting top 4, but they are still in
They're 9 points off relegation, 8 points off top 4.
Right, yeah, it's weird, right?
Is that was it?
I think now that United won, we're actually like 9 off relegation and 10 off top 4.
Okay, that makes me feel way much better now that you're in double figures to top 4. My heart nearly went then.
It's such a weird season. Whether it's down to pre-season preparations, I don't know. I don't know about other clubs really. I know Man United had 1 day of training before the season started. 1 day. They had 1 training session.
With Ollie, which means like nothing.
Well, Ollie's not a coach; he's just a manager. So it's got nothing to do with Ollie. All Ollie coaches is the strikers who have improved under Ollie. So his coaching's actually quite good. Martial's definitely been a better striker since Ollie came in. So as far as I'm concerned, his actual coaching is very good. But
that's fair enough.
I have this theory with why there were such high score lines. What's the one thing you can do in your garden for 3 months? What position can you practice in your garden with a goal on your own for 3 months? Shooting techniques, scoring goals. Can you practice centre-back partnerships, link-up play? You can't. No. You can't really practice shot stopping as a goalkeeper. And I think that's probably why we had so many goals at the start of the season, like the Villa against Liverpool. I think it was City 5, United 6, Liverpool 7, and then Arsenal 8th last season. So what has actually happened is the players have taken time to bed in, and we've got players in and out from COVID. The fans, I think, make a massive difference. I think they make a huge difference. Like for United, United's always been maybe not in recent years, but the home form's always been quite good. It's always been quite a scary place for opposition to come. Whereas this season, our home form's been really poor. I think games where Liverpool have dropped points, they would probably be winning games at home a lot more comfortably with the fans behind them. It's just an up and down season. I think if a manager could put their finger on it, they'd be clear at the top right now. I don't think there is an easy answer to what's going on, but I love it. It's the most exciting season I think we're ever going to see. I do enjoy it because you can't predict anything. So keep your money in your pockets. Don't go to the bookies because you can't call it. You just can't.
Yeah.
Would you?
But I think we haven't had a season like this, like forever. I think, like, yeah, we had the late Leicester season and that, but this season, like, I don't think you're going to be able to call it to the last couple of months. Like, I think up until like February, you're still not going to be able to call it.
No,
personally, unless one of the teams runs away with it, like that's a possibility. But I personally, if we continue like this, I think by February you're still not going to go. I think it's the last 2 months that will decide it.
It could well be. I mean, I'd love it if it went down to the last day. As a football
I
fan,
really would.
I would love it.
That would literally be the best season ever, because that's
But
the
no
kind of
one-
football you want to see.
That might happen. That might happen as well.
I should say, I feel like if Liverpool didn't have as many injury problems, they'd probably be winning the league quite easily this season.
Yeah, but I feel like this is good that
we don't.
We don't know that. Sure.
No,
Do you
we
know
don't
what
know
happened
that.
with Liverpool? Do you know what I think happened with Liverpool and was their saving grace was the fact they did have those injuries and those other players wanted to step up. Sometimes when you have players dropping out, you look Arsenal against Chelsea. Like there was no Gabriel, there was no Partey, there was no Aubameyang. These young players all stepped up. They were all hungry because they were fearless. I think sometimes it's a bit like when you have a player sent off. Sometimes those 10 men can go and win the game. Do you know what I mean? Everyone puts in that extra 10%. So I think that's got a lot to do with Liverpool. The whole squad have really stepped up for them. Hopefully
They have
not
nothing
for
to
too
lose.
much longer. Well, they do have something to lose because it is their league to lose. Let's be honest, it's Liverpool's league to lose, and there will be pride with these young players, but there's also that naivety with young players as well. I can't remember. Is it Curtis Jones? Is that the guy? I think he's been outstanding. I think he's been outstanding this season. He's been a great player for them, and they're doing this with Mane being out of form. Really, he's not exactly been firing. So. Yeah, it's just a strange season. You just can't call it, man. You just can't call it.
No, you can't.
No,
But it's what makes the season so better, doesn't it? It makes it more interesting. You know, it's not like the obvious teams. You know, is up there as like Liverpool, Man City, and that's the only two. You know, is swapping and changing all the time. I mean, obviously they got to get more points to get to the top, but it's interesting from like say 5th or 6th position to 2nd. You know, it's always that's keep going up and down. But it'd be nice for them to teams get towards that top, well, basically where like Liverpool are, and then just get up and get in line with them, and then just keep jumping the table up. You know, that's going to be more interesting. I mean, obviously Man United win today, 2nd, and I mean there's some like people that slates at least in the Solskjaer what he's done, but who would have thought Man United would have been 2nd at this time? You wouldn't have thought it.
I had them at 6th.
Yeah.
Start of the season, I thought they finished 6th.
Yeah.
But this is how weird the season is. United
but
could go
I don't
on a run
even
now,
know
unbeaten,
who's going to get.
Or they could drop off. Chelsea could go on a run, unbeaten, and win the league.
Exactly.
That's just how weird it is.
That sounds like a plan to me. That sounds like a plan.
If Chelsea win the league, I'm coming for you all. I'm coming for you all, Slate and Frank, like this. Trust me, you're all having
Just to
it.
clarify, the only thing I've said is that I'm on the fence.
See, you're scared about it already. You're scared about it already.
No, I'm not. I'm on the fence, and I'll happily explain why I'm on the fence. Like, I'm not no shame about it. Like, I'm happily on the fence because if you can't learn from your mistakes and you keep making the same mistakes, and I know he needs to learn, but how can you keep making the same mistakes and continuing to perform the way we are? That to me, if you can change it last season, why can't you change it this season? If you can change it last season when you had no transfer ban, you were using youth players and you were taking more risks, why aren't you taking risks now with the players that you actually wanted? You spent 260 million, you're still not taking risks. Why? And they're the mistakes I'm calling him out on.
Because I think, would you agree when you have, apparently I've been pronouncing it wrong, so correct me, Ziyech, however you pronounce his name, Werner, Havertz. When you have all these players fit, right? I think Frank and the coaching staff have been trying to coach a system that fits these players, like is a specialist system, especially for players like Ziyech. When they're not there, where I question Frank and the coaching staff is when those players aren't in there, why can't they find a way to adapt? Because Mason Mount on the right hand side or a Cho is very different to a Ziyech. Like, these are 3 very different players. And that's where I question the coaching. But
this is what I've needed someone to say, because my issue is that Ziyech is turning into a Hazard incident where we're relying on one player every game. And that's not what I want. I want every player, because we have bloody talented players. Why aren't we using them? Like, why aren't we using them resourcefully and actually using them to the fullest content? The ones that are fit and healthy and actually capable of doing this, like Mason Mount has played, most games this season? Why are we not using him in a resourceful way? Like, if we're going to use all these players, like, why aren't we? That's my issue.
Strongly disagree with something Indiana said, because I feel like there has been no attempt of playing Havertz where he actually should play.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they're trying to build a system to put him in. The reason they're not playing Havertz where he should be is probably because they're seeing exactly in training what they're seeing on the pitch, which is a player who is just not up to that level right now. That's where it is. I mean, think about this. If you're Chelsea Football Club, you spend £255 million, right? Why is Frank Lampard, who did absolutely fuck all with Derby, in the job still? I'll tell you why. Because they bought 6 players, and they want this manager to be there whilst they bed these players in before they go and get... They've already got their manager. He's coming in the summer, as far as I'm concerned. They've already got that target. These are intelligent board members. There's a very well-run club. The only way Frank is going early is if you're completely out of the Europe slots. Like, that's the only way he's going early.
I think if we get to February and we're like not even in the top 10, I think he's gone, done.
Yeah.
But then
I think
the problem I have with Chelsea fans is that however much I'm on the fence, I want him to stay as well. I'm on the fence on his decisions, but as a manager, I'd like to see him thrive, because it's the first time for Chelsea that we've picked a manager that hasn't got experience. Like, he's had Derby and then Chelsea. He hasn't had like that much experience, and I feel like Chelsea fans are expecting so much. Like, they're genuinely expecting like a trophy. They're expecting this. They're expecting
blame Monster for that.
But you know, me and Monster need to have a conversation about that. But like, I don't agree with any of his views personally. But that's another day, another conversation. I am calling you out, Monster. I am calling you out.
What did Monster say that's like made?
So Monster's been like tweeting shit. Like, today he tweeted a video of like someone saying, "I want Lampard out," there was no reason given. It's just, "I want Lampard out." Like, it's just petty shit like that.
Do you know why he wants Lampard out? Because he spent the whole transfer window telling people to pray for the rivals. We're going to win the Premier League. Going to walk Champions League groups. Like, it's his own fault. It's his own fault. And I think subconsciously this got stuck into a lot of Chelsea fans' heads, and they're like, in the back of their minds, they're like, we could actually win the league. We just signed like Finding Timo, like the German.
But that's
Shane
not
Long.
how it works.
Like,
that's
do you know
not
what I mean?
how it works.
Like,
Literally,
no,
you've got Bundesliga players. You've got Bundesliga players coming that play at different pace, different tactics, different everything, and you're still coming at them. Like, Havertz has had COVID and he's recovering. Like, you don't know the after effects of COVID. No one does.
To a new country, like 21,
exactly.
It's young. It's
obviously you do, but
game.
Like,
I feel like this season, most of what I've done is defend Chelsea players.
Yeah, no, I'm not
like,
saying you, but there are just
I'm always bigging up Thiago Silva. Mate, Werner and Havertz are gonna be amazing players. They are already good players. But first of all, they're not supposed to play together because they don't fit. Havertz is a goal-scoring cam. He's the best goal-scoring midfielder in the world, maybe. Like, in Leverkusen, he was. Whoa. Now it doesn't look like it, but mate, if you check the numbers, he might have been the midfielder with the most goals last season. Because he plays right.
How many young players do we see that kind of hit that level and then either regress or just sort of plateau?
Happens a lot.
Happens a lot.
Yeah, so, it does. But
until I see it consistently in the Premier League, I don't rate players coming into Prem clubs like that. There's high expectations, and maybe that's part of it, because he was like 18 mil as well, wasn't he? Like, that's a lot of pressure on a young kid, you know.
But
that's not a Man United problem, so I don't really care.
Werner has been scoring a lot of goals for a lot of seasons now. Like he's not as young as Havertz. Like he's been solid. It's just that he's not a winger. He played as a winger when he was like 18. He's a striker.
He did play off Poulsen a lot. He did play off Poulsen a lot. He did play out wide quite a lot. And here's the thing: he does make He does make them. I'm not having this because I have this.
That's in the front two.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's besides the point. Like if you get into the 6-yard box, the ball's at your feet. You hit it over the bar at the keeper or wide of the post. It doesn't matter what your starting position is. So he makes those runs. He's great at them. He's lightning quick. He's good football intelligence, but he's not clinical. That's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do whether he plays up front or not. If he plays up front, he might get more chances. And I see this. Matt's probably heard me say this before, but if you go out Friday night and you get asked 5 girls for their number and only 1 does it, and you go out the next week, ask 10 girls and only 2 do, it's the same. It's the same conversion rate. It's no different. Like he's still going to miss a lot of chances if he's not clinical right now. Tammy Abraham is scoring goals. Giroud is scoring goals, and you want the manager to play a player through the middle who's not scoring goals. Like he's going to pick Tammy and Giroud. That's going to happen. Also, Pulisic has made of biscuits. He's going to fall apart any second. Like next time he does his boots up, he could pull a hamstring. It's tough.
You're asking what I want. I want Zuma to play up top, mate. Fuck Chelsea.
I rate Zuma. I like Big Z. He's a good center back.
No, yeah, center back, not number 9. That was a joke. But it's. I get what you mean. Like I can't argue. Like he's been in a really bad form, but Werner reminds me a little bit of Aubameyang. He's that kind of striker. He's not an amazing finisher. He's more of a he's never had Aubameyang's numbers, of course. He's not going to be as good as Aubameyang, but I don't know.
This question here by Chris, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with it.
Anthony, speak it out. What's it saying?
It's saying, do you think Chelsea have to
No,
win a
I
trophy?
I don't, because they had a
Along
transfer
with the
ban, so you
top
have to
four
split that money in
finishes
half
with
for
the
one.
money spent.
Yeah,
The
but
trouble is,
they had a
think about
ban,
it.
so you have to split that in half. They had a ban the season before, so that's only half the money spent. And they bought young players, which tells me it's a long process for these players. Like it's not the Mourinho Chelsea where it's like players in their prime at that level to perform straight away, which is why I think Frank's still in the job, because Frank's not a world-class manager.
No, he's not. No. He's like Arteta. He's got no experience at all, really. He's just been
Arteta's arguably got more. Under Pep, he's coaching.
It's that it's yes and no because of working under Pep. I agree with that.
Yeah,
it's.
That comment. I can understand that comment to a certain extent, depending if he's given money to spend in January as well.
I don't think. I think they might bring in a goalkeeper, but I don't think they're going to spend much money in this window.
Abramovich, he always pulls his deal out of the bag, though, doesn't he? You know what I mean? He can do that. He can spend about 70 million on a player at the last minute on the January transfer window.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't see teams. Here's the thing, though. I can't see Prem teams letting players go. Like, who would the targets be for, like, the top 6, if you like? There'd be a Jack Grealish. Villa ain't getting rid of him. You look at, like, a Declan Rice. I can't see West Ham letting him go. I just can't. I can't see these players going right now because of how competitive the league is. It's not going to be easy to buy players right now, I don't think. That's the big problem.
Everyone should be rating the Championship because there's a lot of talent there, and that's cheaper, and they're probably willing to let people go. Like, I take like 4 Norwich players at Arsenal. I'd really do.
No, I'll take 1.
4 Norwich.
You'd only take 1.
I'll take 1. Max Aaron's. Trouble is, though, you don't want too many Championship players because when you're a team like Arsenal, you don't want too many Championship players because you're not going to get anywhere with it. You don't mind the odd 1, maybe 2, but you don't want too many Championship players. It's like I keep hearing on other streams and all that. Norwich got brilliant players. They're in the Championship. Brighton. It's like Arsenal is saying they want about three players from Brighton, maybe 4. And I think, well, is Brighton. So
what Arsenal need is a...
I I get your point, cousin, but think about it like more in a cold manner. Like just think about it as math. Do you honestly feel like Buendia or even Cantwell wouldn't help us with our creativity because they're better than everyone that can play as a cam in our team because Willian hasn't been performing and Ozo retired.
I think
And
what Arsenal need is a creative German with big eyes. That's what they need.
you honestly feel like Ozo should be playing?
I can't. You're paying his wages already. Play him.
Nah,
Paying his
mate.
wages already. He's not
Mate.
got. I'd personally play him. If I'm a manager and I'm like, hang on a minute, we're talking relegation, I'd be like, why not? If the board aren't going to buy the players that you want, let's be honest, it's not much different to Man United. They're not going to back the managers. We know this. They're not going to go out and spend the money. You're going to lose your job anyway.
I just feel that it's like what we said against Chelsea. We had the young players playing, didn't we? We had the young ones, and they played really well. Now it's like with Arteta, I think the experienced one is like Aubameyang. Obviously, he's on a goal rate. He's not scoring. But it's like players like that. I think Arteta is gradually losing the dressing room. I think he's gradually losing that dressing room.
I've seen the first half today, though, and they've got players like Xhaka, right, who captain their countries, who look more afraid of, look like they want to protect the ball more than move it. What I mean by that is they play very safe. They take that extra touch in midfield before they release it. And when you've got players like Martinelli and Saka, they want the ball played early. Get it moving quick.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's a massive problem because these are your elder statesmen, if you like. Your more experienced players, the players that should be controlling games. So he's got a massive problem in the engine room, a huge problem in there.
Yeah.
How's he going to sort that problem?
I don't know. He's going to have to be. He's got to be done by the board, and he's got to be done by him and Edu as well. They got to agree to some sort of agreement, like sort of thing. I mean, we're on about buying players, but in all fairness, with Arsenal, we got to get rid of players before we get, any player in. We're a team. We've got 9 centre backs at the team. 9 centre backs.
Yeah,
the goals you've been conceding as well. It's just makes it funny. I can't lie.
And we're crying out for another centre back to go alongside Gabriel. We got 9.
Would you take Diego Costa? I seen him linked to loose links.
No,
you wouldn't take him.
No.
But it's
not even for 3 mil. For 3 million, you wouldn't take him.
No, he's on a free, innit? He's on a free. I read it, but I would if you were talking about 5 or 6 seasons ago.
Charlie, you're gonna.
I would have.
I was gonna talk about you, because Matt actually addressed this point. True, we got to get rid of the garbage we have, the deadwood players, but Arsenal should just buy what we need and let them leave because no one's gonna pay for them. Do you expect us to get rid of all the garbage we have in January? That's not going to happen, but we still got to address the issues we have.
I don't expect you to buy big players because you have Ozil on 350 grand a week. You have Aubameyang on silly money. For me, he's only at the club because his missus loves London. I'm sorry. I think that's the only reason why the guy's there. I think if a Barcelona came in for him, he'd have gone. You buy players like Pepe in for 72 million, stick him on silly money, and he was the most expensive player because you then went and bought Willian as his replacement straight after. And I just feel like if you're a big player, what are you seeing Arsenal as? You're seeing it as a cash cow. I'm afraid. You're looking around and you're thinking Ozil's on this money, he's on the bench, and you're bringing me in telling me I'm a key player. You're going to have to pay me the same money. Otherwise, I'm going to another club.
No, but I don't
have ambitions and are closer to the top of the table or further along or in Champions League. Do you know what I mean? That's the difficult thing. They've the club have done this to themselves. That's the big problem.
But he's not worth that 72 million. I don't know whether it's the players around him, whether it's affecting his play. Yeah. Let's see, if he played for like a Man City, I think he'd be a better player. But I mean, at the moment, he's got no players around him. He's not scoring goals, is he, Pepe? I mean, when we first signed him for 72 million. I was expecting him to be along the lines of somewhere like near Hazard when he played for Chelsea.
You'd have
I
been
mean,
better off
something
buying
like
Wilfred
that.
Zaha. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I
That's
agree
a
with
fair
that
point.
one. Imagine that though, lads. Imagine that though. He goes to if he goes to City, because personally for me, I don't think Mahrez is going to stay there for much longer now, and I think Sterling, he's definitely set his career to last there, obviously at City. I mean, that's definitely the club he wanted to end his career at. And imagine that though, Pepe and Sterling on the wings. How dangerous could that be? Honestly,
It'd be dangerous for City because
that'd
they'll
be
drop out
dangerous.
the top 6.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
and
think
that reason
I
exactly as
honestly, I
well.
don't think he's good enough. I really
Yo,
don't. I read a statement
Average.
from Bayern's scouting team that said they didn't want to go in for him because he wants too much space in front of him in the opposition third. He wants way too much space.
So then,
And
what
the
the
more I
fuck is he
watch
doing in
him,
the
the more I
Prem?
believe that he wants more space in front of him. Like he doesn't. His decision making is quite poor, really, for a player
Yeah.
of that quality. Because he obviously has the ability. He has great dribbling skill. He can score free kicks. He can finish, but he's putting it all together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, right? But all the pieces are still in the box. Do you know what I mean?
just feel
Like
like
it
his
hasn't been
confidence
laid
is
out.
low.
You
Like
know, it reminds me of
we did overpay for Pepe for sure, but his confidence is low. I'm quite confident he's gonna go back to being a good player. Like he's probably like
no,
a
he
40
has
million
to. He
player.
has to. Like,
Yeah,
it's £2 million pay. You can't just be bad for the rest of your,
Yeah, he's not bad. Like he was really good at Lille. Like his numbers were phenomenal. I actually preferred him to Zaha. Now I regret that. Sure, Zaha's playing much better, but I felt like that was the better call.
Yeah, but if
He's
you'd brought,
he looked more
but
exciting.
if you bring Zaha to Arsenal, would the same thing have happened to Zaha that it
No,
happened to Pepe?
no.
That's
I think Zaha.
Would
I
it?
think
It's all
for
about
me,
being Premier League
for
ready.
me
He plays on
personally,
self-confidence.
for me personally, Zaha plays on self-confidence. And if I were to personally, in my opinion, he's definitely one of the best attackers in the Premier League. No matter what division, if it's striker, winger, doesn't matter. I think this is his top. Like this is the top form you're going to see him in. Yeah, this is the only time you're going to see him perform this well at this age and at this structure that he's built for himself. Because if you look at his weight as well compared to last season, he's definitely put a lot of weight on. But somehow his speed has just gone up. Like he propelled it like fucking. I think it was like 101 miles per hour, like at the start of the season when he played against us as well. Like that was a massive run that he did, and he's definitely committed. He's definitely committed to the job when it comes to attacking. When if he needs to track back, he do it. But to be honest with you, he never has to because the players behind him are actually decent, and I think he's definitely a top class player. I'll be honest with you.
And you know what? I'm gonna use Ad's comment to say this. Like, if this is Zaha's best season, Pepe's best season was much better than this. Pepe's best season at Lille, he scored like 20
Best
goals.
form. Best form. No,
The
Charlie,
Prem.
what I mean is like his best form. No, of course not. What I'm trying to say is his best form should realistically be now. It realistically should be now. It should be. This is not his best season in the Prem. No way would it be.
He was quite
No
good,
way
though,
would it
wasn't he?
be. No way is this his best season. No way. No, I
Last season, he
disagree.
got like 12 goals, 12 assists for Arsenal, which statistically, I swear that looks okay compared to what
It is
looked
okay.
like he had
It is
on
okay,
the
but it's still low standards when you've been brought in
Yeah,
for
it's low
75
standard,
mil,
but I mean,
bro.
he looked a lot worse than the stats.
Yeah,
made him up to
absolutely.
be.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, brother. Charles, you're deluded, man. Honestly, I don't know why you're here. Honestly.
I'm actually warming up to him. I like Charles now. He's just funny. But
I love
I
Charles
gotta
though,
address
man.
that. I gotta address that. It's just because of the price tag. Like he's not that bad. And if you think about it, every single one of the
I
big
dunno.
clubs has overspent in a player. Like you guys spent 80 million on Maguire. Chelsea has spent the same amount we spent on Pepe, on Kepa. I mean, Liverpool
But Pepe
might
doesn't
not
even
have-
start for
please,
Arsenal.
please. Whoa. We don't mention that name. Kepa is a bad name.
No,
that
we
man
do.
gives
No,
me
he's
a
a good
heart
guy, man.
attack.
Yeah, no,
He
you
gives
can't
me a
just cut
heart
out like that.
attack.
Chelsea spent 70 odd million on him. We can't just forget about that.
And I'm happy to sell
We
him
might be
for
having the
like
same
whatever the
conversation with
flip he's
Havertz.
worth. But personally, for me, he hasn't been worth 70 million. Like the man gives me a heart attack every time he comes on the pitch. Like because I think the problem I have is that he is so unreliable and he makes such and everyone's like, oh, but he broke up with his girlfriend. He's got mental health issues, and like he's struggling with that. And he broke up with his girlfriend 2 years ago. Am I supposed to be sympathetic now? Personally, I'm not.
No.
Like
Because
you've got to keep your professional and your like personal life separately. And as a footballer, you have to do that. And if you can't do that, maybe he's in the wrong profession.
He's not a good footballer, to be honest. Yeah.
No, I think he is.
Why?
No, because we've seen it in him. We've seen what he can do, and he has shown consistent times at Chelsea. Yeah, they've been, not often, but we can see what he can do. And I think at Chelsea, I think it's a mentality problem with him. So
yeah, mentally.
But this is the problem I'm saying about it.
I just think I don't see a future of him at Chelsea at all. I just think at a different club.
I've said that we need to get rid of him. I've said we should take him back to Spain because I think he was happier in Spain. Like, and I think that if he wants to go back, like, he should go. Like, but I don't think. I think his time at Chelsea's done.
Why are you laughing, man?
Respect our former manager Kepa.
Oh yeah.
God.
Almost forgot about that. That was his best game in the Chelsea shirt.
You think so?
He's gonna come off.
That was the most entertaining.
Yeah, it's the most iconic thing he's done.
So Sonny, what do you think is like the most strangest thing that's happened? I mean, loads of things have happened. It's so strange in the leagues, not just the Premier League. We're talking about La Liga, Serie A, the fact that AC Milan.
I was talking about this season.
Yeah, it's just been crazy, right? Like, why do you think it's been so crazy? What is the reason? People say fans not coming into the grounds. Some of the people are saying the transfer windows have not been used properly because of Corona. What do you make?
I'd say when the season got shut down back in March, I'd say that takes like a massive. I'd say that was heartbreaking for some players, and then when it's coming back, it's good. But I don't think they ever mentally picked up back where they were. And no fans, that's never going to help that, is it? So,
do you agree with that,
Ads? Yeah, slightly, yeah.
Is that why it's been so crazy in the fact that Leeds have like been doing so well? I mean, they have been doing.
I think Leeds will do that well anyway. To be honest, I think their squad's really good.
Yeah, their squad is underrated. Facts.
Who?
Leeds.
I feel like it's more about the manager making the players look good, but sure.
Yeah, but they had a really good summer, remember?
Amazing player. Calvin Phillips, right?
Yeah.
Yo, he's good. He's good.
Great. He can pass the ball. He can tackle it off and then just do a Scalzi way across the other. I saw him the other day doing it, and I was like, how on earth are you doing that? I've not seen that for many a year, but a defender doing that as well. And he played, I know he's a central defence midfielder, isn't he? Usually. He played at centre back at that game, and I just thought he was incredible. Really did.
Yeah.
Who's like the most outstanding player you've seen so far this season, Indiana? Who do you reckon is like the one that you think everyone should be looking at right now?
Grealish has to have a mention because he's just been consistent through this season.
I'm gonna hate my answer. I think it's Son.
I feel we already know it's Son though.
Yeah, I feel like everyone knows that Son has got that passion.
Kurt Zuma, I'm surprised by.
I don't know about that. I think the goal is just overall what he's really done.
What I'm going to say is...
I think from when we came back, when the season started, I think he's been quite good.
He's been better, but I still don't see him defensively as a good player.
Who?
No, but I'm surprised
Zuma.
by it. I think Zuma's been quite good. I think he's been Chelsea's best defender.
To be fair, Zuma has been overall on average a decent player. He hasn't been the worst he could be, and he hasn't been like the greatest ever. But he's been a standard.
I think as well.
Yeah, and he's done what he's. I know that's embarrassing, when you say it like that. But he's done what he's supposed to do. He's done what he's supposed to do, and he's actually done a good job.
He's putting good performances, and I said this as well to the Chelsea man. I said to them in the Newcastle game when Thiago Silva doesn't play, watch him have a good game, and he was their best defender again. And I said this right, and
Zuma.
Zuma.
Zuma's been good.
What, when
Zuma.
Thiago Silva was playing?
No, when Thiago Silva wasn't playing against Newcastle when they won 2-0.
Well, who else did Chelsea have, to be honest, though?
I said they had. Well, personally, I think Rudiger's quite gets too much hate. I think he's definitely a good centre back. People just give him too much stick. Personally,
you know what? I think because last season Rudiger made some epic on the line goal saves, but he also made some defensive failures. But
John Stones has done that.
Yeah, but this is what I don't get. But welcome to Chelsea fans. This is what happens. This is genuinely what happens. Chelsea fans literally go on a rampage and they're like, "Oh, he's made really bad mistakes this season." But if you look at comparison, he made 50% bad mistakes and 50% great saves. And so what? If you look at it, that's half the games that he played on actual point. If you probably look at it, it's like 60-40. But he actually made some absolute amazing saves, and he saved our team quite a few times last season when we had Kepa in. Like, God bless my soul. But like, I don't get why people complain. Like, he's not the worst. He's not like the greatest ever, but he does his job and he does it well.
I want to shout out Egal in the house right now. He was there just a minute ago.
Can I just give out a stat quick? Can I just give out a stat? Rudiger, actually, can I give a stat out quick? Right, in the 4 games he's played, he's made 3+ tackles every game, and you guys have held down clean sheets for the 4 games he's played in.
There he is.
That tells you something.
Like, exactly, but I don't get why people are judging Tim. Like, I really don't. It like does my nothing.
You know who averages almost 3 tackles a game? Gabriel Martinelli.
He's overrated piece of shit.
Right, Egal, you need to come in on it, Egal. Is he not? I know that Charlie's been talking about Mari being a very good defender as well, and I believe so.
Who's overrated?
Martinelli and Pablo Mari.
No,
Gabriel Martinelli.
Not Martinelli. Well, no, I'm talking.
Listen, how can you be overrated?
Not Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel, the centre back. Yes, mate.
First of all, Magalhães not overrated,
Martinelli.
but I was talking about Martinelli.
Martinelli is
one of your best players. Like, he genuinely could be one of your best players.
I think Martinelli is our best player.
No, but he could become like a great player. Like, personally, I believe. If he's good at the minute, like against a team that particularly an Arsenal team that isn't particularly at its best, like at the best at the minute, and half the players, and this is me being nice, half the players are absolute. Like, there's a list of players I want to get rid of from a team. But you mean you've got Martinelli, who always performs, who always turns up, who always looks like he wants something. Like, that's a change from an Arsenal player.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Let's just hear what Egal has to say about that.
Listen, you can talk all you want about Gabriel, the defender, or Pablo Mari, the defender, as much as you want. Realistically, they haven't been given enough time to even have a good judgment on them. The same way you could say, the same way as a Chelsea fan, if you defend Kai Havertz or Timo Werner right now, you can't judge them based on small sample size. When it comes to Martinelli, from the time he's played, nobody can tell me he's overrated because, first of all, he had no expectations. He had no expectations. In order to be to be overrated, you have to come with some expectations. His price tag was cheap, 7 million. Another thing that lowers his expectations. So what you expect from a 7 million pound youngster that's 18 is not the same that you expect from a guy in Kai Havertz at 72 million.
He's 18.
Yeah.
Now he's
18. No, now he's 19, but when he came in, he was 18, right? Also, he got injured. He got injured after that Chelsea game. He never played another game. Last Chelsea game. So
ads actually meant that Gabriel Magalhães is overrated, not Martinelli.
Now, when you talk about the defenders, Pablo Mari, every time he's played, he's looked solid. It's a small sample size. You can't really judge him. In addition to that, if everyone constantly criticizes the defense, I feel like it's a weak argument, because if you're constantly criticizing our defense, it makes no sense to criticize our defense when we're not scoring goals. Our defense is literally the best part of our game. Why are you criticizing the defense?
Yeah, but the best part of your game
I'm not criticizing him. The thing is, right, your fan base, and I'm sure everyone can back me up on this, right? As soon as he does something, apparently it's a madness that some centre back has never done before. That's the problem. The majority of your fan base do gas him up, bro. And they realistically should be telling them that there's no expectation set yet. This isn't for the whole season.
Let me respond. Which Gabriel, the one that we paid 30 million for in the summer window, who's come in and been man of the match had 6 man of the match performances this season. That Gabriel.
Egal, but it's not even that though, bro. Like I was on your channel when you everyone on your channel was giving him everyone was giving him right. This is just one bit as well. Everyone was giving him 4 ratings when he played shit and got a red card. If that was David Luiz, would they be giving him that, bro? That's overrating.
Listen, who is overrating Gabriel? What are you talking about? You're making it seem like
it's facts, Egal.
No, it's not. Relax. Let me respond.
Gabriel has been the Arsenal best signing this season. I can't say Partey because Partey's been injured. He hasn't had much game time as Gabriel. Gabriel's been the best signing this season.
Yeah, I'm not discrediting that. I'm not discrediting
that.
Let Anthony finish. Talking over him, man. He was halfway through a sentence.
So sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
Gabriel's 21, right? And at that age, you still make mistakes, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah, but that's your point of learning. And then when he gets into his peak, when he's 27 years of age, I'll tell you what, he'd be a good defender. He'd be an excellent centre back. But he's been Arsenal's best buy this season. That's all I'm going to say on the subject.
Can I just say something though? Yeah, I agree with your point, Anthony. 110% agree with your point. I'm not discrediting that fact because that's a fact. He will be a good centre back. But when your fan base are saying, yeah, he's better than Maguire, he's better than all Man United centre backs, that is overrating. And you can't say no one said that. That is facts.
No, that's
come on, bro.
Kind of taking a piss though, to be fair.
That is overrating. That is overrating. I'm not hearing it. It's overrating. That's like saying I can say Mason Greenwood, yeah, he's better than, half of the wingers that play in the Premier League. I don't say that, do I? But people in my fan base do, and that's overrating him. That's why I would say, someone come up to me say, yo, do you think Mason Greenwood's overrated? I would say he is, because that's facts. People have said that and they still believe it, generally believe it. And I'd say this right now, because I didn't get into my point for you to understand what I went by saying he's overrated. I think he's talented. I think he will be something one day bigger than he is now, because as of now, no expectations have been set, like you said. So that gives no right for anyone in your fan base to say he's better than Maguire, who's actually proven himself.
Okay, stop. You have to understand. There's levels to overrating somebody. You can get overrated by the media. You can get overrated by a lot of pressure by fans, and a lot of it is banter, which helps to get players overrated. And then finally, you can get overrated by your price tag and your performances on the pitch. To me, price tag and performance on the pitch, he's not overrated because he's performing to the level that we bought him for. When you talk about pundits are not saying that he's the best center back in the league, top 5 center back in the league. And then finally, when fans, the only reason why you're saying he's overrated is because you're listening to a small pocket of fans that are overrating players based on sensationalizing and comparing players. To me, that is the wrong way to say something. If you were to pick up you can say what you want. But if you were saying Thomas Partey is overrated, you would have evidence. If you say Gabriel's overrated, you have no evidence because all your evidence is hearsay, people's fans' opinions. That's it.
Yeah, you just said it's a majority. Yeah, you just said it's a majority of your fans, though. It's not a majority of the fans.
It's a lot of people.
You said one second. You said there, and I quote, you said it's a minority of fans saying that. It's not. It's a majority of your fan base saying he's better than our centre backs. All of our centre backs.
The majority of Arsenal fans. Come on, let's be honest.
Majority, bro. Come on, man. Then it's a majority. It's not a minority. Then it's not a minority. Then
I gotta.
Right, you guys agree with me that one thing. Pundits are not overrating Gabriel. His price tag and his performances have not been overrating him. The only thing is fans' opinions. And if you're going overrated based on fans' opinions, say that. Don't say he's overrated just as a bold statement. Because that to me is
then
disingenuous.
Let me explain my point then. Because
go ahead.
At the start you said I'm saying this and that wrong and all of this. You didn't let me break down my point. And the thing is facts. You said don't right now. Well, Egal.
No,
this is
stop,
I'm not.
Yeah.
See, look, you're interrupting me.
You're
interrupting me. Don't interrupt me. The facts are you said no. Let me speak. I don't care. Let me speak. Yeah. See, you're not listening to me, so you wouldn't know what I'm trying to say. The facts are you said a minority of your fans. See, let me speak, and then you understand the point. Yeah, you said the minority of your fans said that. The majority did. That's facts. So,
It's
That's
and
not
you know
fact.
that
That's an
yourself.
opinion.
yo,
That's an
You know that
opinion.
yourself.
I've been trying to talk for a while now. That is because it's true.
Okay,
Gabriel
listen,
Magalhães
I
is
wanna-
better
can I
than
ask
all
you-
Manchester United defenders. And you guys keep saying this. You guys keep judging people that just came to the Premier League because of the 10 games they played. There's football outside of England, and some people follow it. What Gabriel Magalhães did at Lille was better than anything Maguire has ever done, was better than anything at any United center back other than Bailly, who had a really good season with Villarreal, did. That's facts. You guys keep talking about Mario. He played like 10 games. I saw that guy hold on to every single striker in Brazil. And you guys might think Brazil's a farmers league, but our attackers are much faster than the attackers in England. And he dealt with him. So you guys got to stop this. Like, it's only about England thing. It's not. It's not. I know the players I'm talking about. I'm not judging them on 10 games.
Absolutely, absolutely, and none of us are discrediting that. None of us are discrediting that. Obviously, you would tend, to see what players are about full time if they've played in another division and league, like you said, and then they obviously coast somewhere else. That for me is like when you see like the full percentage rate of what a player can actually do, and that's why I like you, Charlie, because you break that down very very well. But Egal, you need to listen to me when I'm speaking, bro, because you didn't let me get to my point. And the fact, I wasn't saying my opinions or thoughts on the player was facts. What I'm saying is, going back to your point, you said the minority of the fans think that, and that's facts because you said that the minority think that. You need to let people speak, bro.
No. So you agree that it's your opinion. It's not a fact.
I wasn't saying that though. You didn't let me finish. I was evaluating to the point that
Okay,
the facts are. You said
let's just move
minority. See, you can't take it. You can't take the heat, bro.
No. What do you mean I can't take the heat? I'm clearly listening to you, but you're going around in circles, bro.
Nah, come on, let's not go personal. Just.
I'm not going personal. I'm literally saying
No,
the
I'm
point.
not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying like let's not go there like in case we do.
Okay, moving on. Was there anything else?
Yeah, let's move on. Sonny, how do you feel about Man United being a couple of points behind Liverpool?
Nah, right now, like technically they are, but in my head, not in the next 3 years. I don't care how close they are. I don't care if they're top of the league. They're not finishing there. No, not for me.
No, I hear you.
These players have not proved anything. No, Indiana. This is the same thing. These players, you might as well call them Tottenham. When people say Tottenham in a title race, that's almost as bad as saying United in a title race.
We're not white. We wear red. They wear right.
Yeah,
we wear.
same
Listen, you're trying to say, fam.
Unofficial pundit, you're a fucking idiot, dude. What the hell?
Like this,
What was
it's
that?
like I can't.
Yeah, that's personal, bro. But pundit man, cut it out, bro. Come on, it's all about fun and opinions here. We're all friends. Come on, bro. Allow it. Yeah, listen, unofficial. Come on, jump on, bro. Come and jump on.
If you've got opinions,
Keep the same energy, brother. Me and the guy are cool. Charlie is cool, and we're just voicing our opinions, man.
You know what, Charlotte? You're not one of the Chelsea fans who predicted Arsenal to lose like 4 or 5-0, was it?
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I want to say something, right? And I'm sure we can all pick up on this. There were fans saying, "Oh yeah, wearing the shirt to this team that's going to beat Arsenal when Lampard can win us the league." And then as soon as they lose to Arsenal, they say Lampard's not the man to win us the league. I'm baffled.
But
Honest
this is the problem I have. Like, I think I predicted a 3-1 win against Arsenal, something like that. But I didn't expect it to be like how it was.
Score, right?
But it was just the wrong way round. I predicted 3-1, but it's the wrong way round. It's the wrong way round. Like I thought Chelsea would win, but instead like Arsenal won. But to be fair, like Arsenal turned up on the day, and I can't take away credit from that as a fan. As a Chelsea fan, it pissed me off that we lost. But as a fan, Arsenal played way better than Chelsea, and Arsenal deserved to win eventually. Like, if we're not going to turn up for matches, why should we win? Like, if we're not going to give 1,000%, and Arsenal looked like they wanted it. It was the first time I think I've seen
They
Arsenal
deserve
attack
to,
in a
yeah.
long time. Arsenal genuinely looked attacking and dangerous. Like, and it's the first time I've seen that this season. Like, they genuinely looked dangerous, and they genuinely looked like they wanted something. And we didn't. They took advantage of us. Like, we
Are you
didn't turn
telling
up.
me you
and
don't
they
watch
took
our Europa League games? We look like a threat.
No. I'm talking Premier League. I'm talking Premier League only. Like, Europa League, you're a different team. No. Europa League. Some of the Europa League games, you are a different game.
What's Dundalk? You put Dundalk in the same category as
Did you guys not see me laughing my
You know
ass
what?
off?
It's
That
like-
was a joke, guys. Calm down.
Just to clarify, Indiana, you're in the Europa League
he's
now.
not.
Like, you're in
No.
the Europa League now.
Yo,
Yeah, you
listen,
are.
bruv. At least we. Yeah, guess
Like,
what?
you can join
Listen,
Arsenal. You can join Arsenal in the Europa
We
League.
Charlotte. We are Charlotte, yeah. And obviously, fair enough. You lot did stay up. You guys were. You guys obviously were top of your group, and that was good.
Yeah,
Obviously,
you know.
we didn't do too well, but at least we get to listen to a glorious theme every Thursday, fam. You know what I'm trying to say? If the theme was dead, I'd be pissed. But at least the theme's good, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
But it's not the Champions League, though.
oh god. Yeah. This is the first time I've had to take banner about being knocked out of the fucking Champions League. Champions League.
And you know what? It's so good because, like, no matter how shit Chelsea are doing, we can still banter Man United fans because we're still in the Champions League for
leave
now.
me alone, man.
And we can banter Chelsea fans for beating you guys 3-1.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
you
Man
can,
United
but
for beating you 1-0.
no, but I'm taking it because we didn't perform. So, like, if you want to banter me, crack on. But, like, until you're above us, turn up. Like, you're still below us. You're still below us. Yeah. That's still 6 points. That's still 6 points.
Who's your next game?
For Arsenal to mess up. Pardon?
Who's your next game?
Actually, our next game in the minute is going to be for the FA Cup because we're not going to be playing Man City. It's looking to be postponed because of COVID. So our next game will be Morecambe.
They saved you from getting they saved you from getting buried, fam.
Are they?
Do you know what? Like,
Man City game's gonna 100% be postponed. Man City game's gonna 100% be postponed.
I'm not saying it's 100%, but it's looking like 90% likely that it is because of you've got Carl Walker and Jesus with COVID tests, which means the whole team has to self-isolate, hence the Fulham game being cancelled.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't... Yeah. And as if they still have COVID, like, and the test comes back positive again, they're not going to be playing us, which I think personally is an absolute blessing in disguise because we need a break.
10%?
Like, we need some rest.
Well, what you need is to not get buried. That's what you don't need, mate.
Nah,
that's what I'm saying.
Another 3 sets of testing up for match day.
Indiana, man, your Wi-Fi's moving mad, bro.
No, it's not your Wi-Fi. It's just your mic's low, bro.
Yeah, his mic. Yeah.
Yo, by the way,
FPL managers in the mud.
This is not me bantering United.
Oh,
if I was a United fan, I'd be kind of excited about the Europa League thing, mate, because you guys did not stand a chance of winning the Champions League, and you guys are legitimately the favorites to win the Europa League, which is
absolutely
good league in my opinion.
Absolutely, and you know what? I wanna back Egal here though, right? Because I'm sick of all the Arsenal fans. Sorry, not the Arsenal fans. All the rivals saying, "Oh, Arsenal are gonna get destroyed in the Europa League." Personally, if they do go out, I don't think they'll get destroyed. I think they'll get edged by a team that they go up against. I personally see Arsenal doing pretty well. And if I'm gonna be honest, I have to be honest now. I personally see Arsenal doing pretty well. It's not just because Egal is a good friend of mine. I honestly do see them doing pretty well. They have done pretty good, and you know
what the problem is?
Yeah, come on.
I don't actually think Arsenal are going to do too bad in the Europa League. The problem I have, like, I'm not bantering Arsenal fans how they're going to do in the Europa League. I'm bantering Man U fans for the group they've got and how shit they're going to do. I'm not bantering Arsenal fans. I'm bantering Man U fans.
Why?
Like, I'm sorry, who have you got in your group? RP Leipzig, PSG, like, come at me, bruv. Like, nah.
Yeah, but we still did. Yeah, okay, cool. You take
still
away
lost
the
to
RPL
PSG.
loss. We still.
If you were beating PSG at your own stadium, you would be through to the Champions League, but you couldn't beat them at your own stadium.
Yeah, but bro, we beat them at theirs. We beat them at theirs, yeah. And all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
and
to
you
you
couldn't
is,
beat them
all I'm
when
gonna
it
say,
mattered.
okay,
When it
cool,
mattered,
okay,
you couldn't beat
keep the
them.
same energy, keep the same energy, yeah. When you lose to City and then get knocked out of the Champions League, bro, I'll tell you that now. You keep the same energy, keep the same energy.
Just
Who are
get
you
ready for
facing
Leicester,
again?
man.
Atletico
I've been
Madrid.
That's
If
what
you
we
guys
want,
beat
bro.
Atletico Madrid, it would be a miracle at this point.
Do you
Yeah,
know what? We've beaten them
yeah.
before with Conte, with Batshuayi and that. And, it's not impossible. I'm not saying it's likely, but I'm telling you that it's not been done before by a Chelsea team, like recently anyway. Conte, look at him with Batshuayi. Absolutely beautiful.
You know,
Like,
all I'm gonna
they
say
beat
is,
them.
well, the
It's
thing
not
is, right?
impossible.
You have Lampard, but there are many corrupt crooks that have been managing your team, and now look at them, way more successful than they ever were before. And I wonder why. Bad effect managing at Chelsea first, then going to a new club. Weird. It seems weird. I think if Lampard gets sacked, maybe that's a ticket up to heaven, fam, because he might actually get off on this. He gets sacked at Chelsea. We don't know. He could adapt as a manager going somewhere else. We don't know. That could actually be interesting. He gets sacked at Chelsea, he goes somewhere else and manages something. What I'd say is he won't manage a big club if he gets sacked from Chelsea. He'll definitely manage a club that needs help, or they just need adjusting when it comes to management. But
Celtic.
I think Lampard. Listen, Lampard Celtic, bro. Honest to God, I'd love to see
Imagine
that.
that.
But
Lampard
Do you know
and
what?
Gerrard.
Do you know what the problem I have is that, like, I don't particularly, however much I'm on the fence, I don't particularly, I don't want Lampard sacked for several reasons. Firstly, like, I don't like any of the fans that are cussing him out and calling out this. Secondly, I actually want to see him succeed. I've never not wanted to see him succeed. But it's the first time Chelsea have actually turned up and bought a manager that's completely different from what we've had. We've had experience. We've had Mourinho. We've had Conte. Like, we've had people that have actually won shit. Like we've actually had experience, and now we're coming on with like someone who's had Derby and then has come to Chelsea and is still learning. And the fact is, like, he in last season he took more risks, and he had a youth group that he couldn't buy anybody, and he still got us 4th place. Like,
he's a good manager.
Wouldn't you blame your owners for
that?
Do you know what? I'm not blaming. I don't I blame Roman because he came in with this ethic of wanting to win like this, like click of the finger, we've won everything, and that's not realistic. It's not the mentality, and that's what all these Arsenal fans that are like Lampard out are the reason. No, there's this Lampard out, like. It annoys me, like, because I think Lampard deserves to the end. I think Lampard deserves to the end of the season. Whether I think he'll last to the end of the season is a different situation. Would I like him to last to the end of the season? Absolutely. Do I think he will? With the way, look at Sarri, when all the fans wanted him out, he was gone. Like, it's a mentality that a lot of Chelsea fans have, and I don't particularly like it. But that's just how Roman treated him.
I hear that, but that's life, isn't it, bro? Because when you have an experienced manager, right? Yeah, but listen, there are so many fans. There are so many fans I want to bait out, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to. There are some people who aren't even in this community that I want to bait out. Yeah, but listen, they all said Lampard could win the league. Chelsea can do this. Top 4 Champions League. And you know what? They said it's a resounding thing. It can happen every season if Lampard stays in charge. Then you don't lose to Arsenal. Then you don't lose to Wolves. And they kept. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I think Jem's trying to break in or something.
someone beating or something. Anyway,
but then you lot lost to Wolves. Like, Chelsea lost to Wolves, yeah, and they kept the same energy. They kept the same energy, saying, "Yeah, Lampard could do this and that." Then you don't lose to Arsenal, and they're like, "No, Lampard's not the man to take us." Like, what does that mean? Honestly, I don't know.
I don't get it. Like,
you know what? I love this. I was going through this with Arteta. Now Chelsea fans can go through this with Lampard. Anthony, you're an Arsenal fan, so you know, right? Yeah. Oh my god, the headaches you have to go through, guys. You know what is gonna happen? You went through this with Ollie.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's ridiculous. Every single week. It's so reactionary. Calm down. Football is not gonna change. The style of play is not gonna change. The players are still the same players. People think magically a new manager is gonna come in.
There's the guy who's built his YouTube channel on his reactions. Like,
No,
the most reactionary guy I know.
How am I reactionary? I'm always the same. When it comes to one thing, I'm consistent. The player.
I literally heard you on stream when you're gonna go down say, "We're gonna lose every game. We might draw, or we might win." Like in a sentence.
Listen, during a game is completely different from a person after a game. During a game, I go into a zone where I can't think of anything besides what's happening in this game. When I'm watching a game, that's who I am. When I'm after a game, I'm completely different. Because after a game, I can actually compartmentalize what's going on and I can think about it subjectively. During a game, you're super reactionary. During a game, your best player could miss a ball and you're like, he's shit. But immediately after the game, you're like, you realize that you're just saying that in the moment. You don't genuinely mean he's shit. If Salah tomorrow messed up for Liverpool and Sonny, you're watching it and you know he did something wrong, you're gonna say this guy's shit today. You're not gonna say he's shit as a player.
He's just like, what?
He can't even hear what I'm saying.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Same thing with anybody. If you think a guy is not at that moment he's playing bad, you're gonna call it out. And you're that's very reactionary in the moment. But what you say in the moment and what you say afterwards, two different things.
Just like Jerry when he said Ollie out. Just like Jerry when he said Ollie out, they tried to hide it. Wasteman.
Yeah. Egal, I've got a question. Do you think Arsenal are still going to make top 4?
Top 4 is unrealistic in the situation we're in. Take one game at a time, and we'll see where we finish at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair play. No, that's fair. Like, I can't.
That is fair, Egal.
United were 14th last year, and they somehow came back and got 3rd. So it's not unrealistic, but at the same time, you can't say it is right now because it's unrealistic right now. In the moment
of course.
We're in.
Yeah, of course. And a lot of people call dibs saying, yeah, Ollie will be out of the job. And there's still people saying, oh, he'll be out of the job. And you know what? I'll tell you this now, it won't happen. What I see in Ollie at the moment is progress. And that's what we expect for managers. And I feel like I said to you, Egal, I'm always real with you, Egal, man. I'm always honest. And I say this now, Arteta, if he gets the players and gets the baggage,
that's what I'm trying to give manager time.
If he can have a short percentage rise before he gets the players in, he could do something as a manager. He could.
Guys, I gotta go, but before I go, I just want to ask everybody here. Unofficial Pundit, ads, Matt, are you guys Ollie in? 100%.
Yeah,
right?
I'm Ollie in, 100%. Well, I'm manager in because Dad told me.
Same thing. I already know you're Ollie in. Anthony, are you Arteta in or out?
I'm Arteta out.
What?
I'm Arteta out.
Now reading my mind and all that.
There you go.
Let's up Egal, man. Hold it down, bro. Hold it down, Egal, man.
And then Charlotte, you're Lampard in, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm on the fence with his decisions, but personally, I want to see him stay and do well. Like, I think we should back him. Like, he's had one season, a second is good enough.
Egal, you're going to ask me if I'm Klopp in or Klopp out?
No, there's no question. When it comes to
Klopp out.
We all have to know for Manchester United. One thing they did, Ollie came in, he's seen the bad eggs, he took them out, and they're now in a better situation. If Lampard can do the same thing, if he can do the same thing, we'll all be in a better situation. Anyway,
I agree. Hold it down, Egal, man. Take care, bro.
There you go.
Peace.
So, Pundit, you wanted to address something to Ads, right? Ads called you out there, maybe. Or
I never called him out. Wait, what? Me? When did I call him out?
No, you might have agreed with him. Like you might have.
I wanted him to come on. Because he was mad with I don't know who was directing them. This guy's mad about Chelsea. I don't know who he was directing that to. Might have been Egal.
You said, "Yeah, come on, have your word," didn't you? So I was like,
I wanted him to get stuck in.
You know what it was? I couldn't understand the guy saying, number one, about Gabriel's done more than Maguire because Gabriel ain't done nothing. I know he's a lot younger. And number two, what I couldn't understand is he's saying it's not all about England. Well, let me tell you something. When Arsenal fans are talking, it's all about England because they're an English club and they're playing the English Premier League. They're not playing in the Brazilian League. They're playing in the Brazilian League. You can worry about what players are doing in the Brazilian League. They're playing in England. And that's a fact. And, Arsenal's 2 best games in the last month and a half have been the last 2 games, and Gabriel hasn't started both of them. So, clearly there's some issue there. Yeah, he's 21. But is he really as good as they're making up? But we get that with fans. That's what I said to you, Ads. You can't argue fans because they're all going to hype up their own players.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all
what
you
I'm
can
saying.
have. Liverpool fans are still hyping up Gerrard better than Scholes. The guy's only real memorable moment with Liverpool is falling over.
Who's going to forget about a Champions League?
Falling over.
I'll just forget about a Champions League.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That
What do you
had to
mean,
be-
come on? That's the
Listen,
biggest trophy
that
you
had
can
to be the
win.
silliest Champions League win ever. That had to be the silliest. Listen,
Ruled out.
every underdog has won a big game once in their career.
Yeah.
But in the Premier League, over his whole career, his most memorable moment in the Premier League is falling over.
It is.
Come on. Paul Scholes' most memorable moment of picking up 11 Premier League titles. Like, bro, mate, I don't know you. Don't take no offense to what I say, but there's no way I'm ever going to sit on a channel with any Liverpool fan and let you win. Especially when we're talking about Gerrard and Scholes.
Yo,
You've
Matt,
got
put all
no
the United
chance
fans at the
of
top,
losing.
bro. Put all the United fans at the top, man. Top line, bro.
I was happy to do that, mate.
You know?
What, top
Oh,
line?
wow.
They're not top of the league or anything. That wouldn't make sense.
All right, stop now, man. Stop. Stop this. Stop, man.
You make it sound funny. Do you think that's the correct comparison? The fact that Gerrard was the slippage of the.
Well, statistically, probably is about right. But if you watched him, even you'd only have to watch one game, you know it's false.
Yeah, I'll say this now, though, lads. I'll say this
Rival
now.
fans, look, I'd do the same. I'd say the exact same in the Premier League. But you obviously, look, unofficial pundit, you can say that, but inside your head, you respect him.
I don't, not one bit.
Yes, you do.
Not one bit.
Yes, you
Not
do.
one bit. If you know me,
As a player, yes, you do.
listen, as a player, I think he's a pile of shit.
Wow.
I can't argue with this.
Listen, other than closing his eyes and saying a prayer and hitting the ball and hoping it rifles somewhere, he done nothing special at Liverpool. He couldn't ever muscle up you guys winning the league. Every time you guys got close, his arsehole went. It was that simple. Because one closing his eyes and hitting a shot ain't gonna win you 38 games. That's just the way it goes.
He's
You know what
better
the
than
problem is,
most of the
Sonny?
player now. He's better than your manager
No,
as
no.
well.
Listen,
No, but
Whoa.
do you know what the problem is? The problem is that at the same time you had the Frank Lampard, who, okay, I can see an argument why he might compare, but he scored more goals. You got Paul Scholes, who was probably the best, definitely better than Frank and Gerrard. Then you got other players to put in there as well, like the Vieiras. So when you look at a so-called top 4 team, and he doesn't win the Premier League, but he's spent his whole career there. It's true. The most memorable thing in the Premier League is him falling over. I have to agree with it.
Yeah.
It's his most memorable moment in the Premier League. We're not talking about Champions League. We're not talking about FA Cup or Carling Cup. His most memorable moment in the Premier League is falling over.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, but
Listen, the way I look
Go
at
on.
it is when 1 second. Yeah, we can. I got kids. Sorry, guys. But the
The
most
kid's even
memorable-
trying to
listen,
argue with you.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, now my son just gets upset when he hears shit like that. But that's true. He can't believe that crap. But at the end of the day, Danny Drinkwater done it with Okazaki and Hoof. Gerrard couldn't do it with Xabi Alonso and Fernando Torres. So I don't know. You make of that what you will. But
No, I'm not gonna say.
you make of that what you will. And before you start piping up about now, just to let you know, Manchester United were never 2-0 up in extra time and lost 3-2 at home to the most defensive European team in history. So when you want to start comparing yourself with us, win a few
Whoa, are we going to forget about extra time?
Win a few leagues and actually maybe throw a double in there. Don't start counting doubles.
We win the league this season, we equal your tally.
Don't count doubles over 2 seasons.
All I'm gonna say is, there's a difference between stats that you see and what you visually see on the field.
Yeah,
this is why I have so many.
Gerrard, you know he's a great player. You know he's better scored.
This is why I get into so many arguments with people about how good our players are compared to theirs, right? So a big misconstrued game is like I've talked to Anthony about this. I've talked to all of you guys about this. Is the Manchester United 0 Arsenal 1 game this season? That's the most visually misconstrued game of the season, if not one of the most in the Premier League ever, because everyone was saying, yeah, Arteta's tactics won them the game, and this player was doing this to our players, and they destroyed us, they bodied us, they left us, and they kicked us out the park. that is misconstruing the situation. The real situation that happened was they took the best out of a bad situation. When we were playing like shit, we sat back and they took advantage of that, and they got a penalty and won the game. That's how it works.
I'll agree with you and disagree with it. We didn't sit back. The only issue is we don't suit a diamond. We played the complete wrong formation. When you're playing a diamond, you're playing Paul Pogba. You might as well be playing with 10 players.
Yeah.
Because it offers absolutely nothing. I don't care if you like him or not. I don't give a shit if you like Paul Pogba or not. You saw it again tonight. The guy is completely and utterly useless. Honestly, he come on and done nothing against Leicester other than let a player run off of him and they got an equaliser. Only done nothing tonight. He had 2 good moments against Sheffield United, who still haven't won a game yet. He had 2 good moments against Sheffield United. Everyone was hyping him like the king is back. He's not. So that's why Arsenal beat us. And who gave the penalty to Arsenal? Because they weren't scoring in the month of Sundays against us. Paul Pogba thought, you know what? I'll assist something. I'll give you guys a goal. And gave them a penalty. But
is it fair to say that Paul Pogba, he plays incredibly well against France with players that are on his level. When he comes to Man United, he doesn't play particularly well, but he plays well with Man United. I'm not saying all of them, but pardon?
Do you watch Paul Pogba for France?
Yeah. And he's won a World Cup. He hasn't won you a Premier League, so don't come for me. Like the last time we won a Premier League was in 2017, 2018. The last time you won a Premier League was in 2011. Don't come for me.
You have 5 leagues. You have 5 leagues.
And when was the last time you won something? 2011. Yeah, come for me.
Hold on.
Premier League.
2011.
Your club is shit.
Are you telling me at least my board of directors doesn't have Ed Woodward on it? Your board of directors, you need to get rid of Ed Woodward. You need to get rid of all your board of directors. You have so many issues. Don't even come for me, hon.
Sonny, help me, man, please. Sonny, someone.
At least. How
can you talk?
Yeah, and what? And what?
Right, me and Sonny are paying FIFA now, bro.
No.
What is she talking about?
Oh my god. This man's delusional.
Listen, is this EastEnders, man?
I'll be honest, I can't hear either of you.
Yo, but this is better than EastEnders, bro.
It's like a BBC drama.
Yeah, bro. You know what
I see BBC. I can't hear a thing, man.
Would you agree with what you heard in the last 10 minutes? Would you agree with it?
Maybe after me.
Anthony's like lost in.
Anthony's a voice of facts.
I was thinking I was going to go to my kitchen and grab the popcorn and start eating the popcorn, like, you know, with the bait. But
what's your thoughts?
All I hear was about Popper. No, he's unfortunately he don't do it for me. In my opinion,
the thing is, right. I say this now, right. Before Charlotte, she cut. All right, sick.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is, right. Pogba for me, he should go because he's not gonna prove his worth anymore at Man United. And I've said this time and time again. He's not gonna prove his worth here. He needs to go somewhere else where he'll be appreciated and can prove his worth even more, right? And if he wants to adapt and improve as a player, the move is the only option. And realistically, that helps us as well because we get to, I don't know if Ollie's going to do it or not, but that means we get to actually use a player that we brought in who's literally been sitting on the bench for the past 5 games. You know, and you know who I'm talking about, bruv.
Who done it?
Van der Bench, Van der Bench.
Yeah, but you can't. You know what it is? I like Donny, but at the moment, when your team's sitting second, you can't be bringing Donny in to do what? To disrupt what you've already got going on. I'm sorry, but Donny's 23. He can either sit at Man United and wait for his chance. A Man United team is progressing. Or he can go. And where's he? I'm not being horrible, but Real Madrid ain't coming for him. Barcelona ain't coming for him. Bayern ain't coming for him. So and Juve ain't coming for him. So where's he gonna go? Go and do what?
I hear what you're saying.
Like,
but why are we still playing?
Not being horrible. When Man United used to be the best, there was players that didn't get played all the time. But they waited because we was competing for things.
Yeah,
and it's the same. As much as I hate Liverpool, it's the same at Liverpool. Players will wait. If Jota don't play for 5 games, he's not going to get upset because he knows he's going to be competing for trophies. Or he can play for Wolves and compete for nothing. So Donny has to wait. But who are you going to take out?
Listen. But why? Listen. we listen. What we do is right. We always play a fucking back four, and then we have it's basically like a fuck's sake, it's like a 4-3-3 sometimes, or a 4-4-2, whatever you want to fucking call it. Right? Listen, for me, why are we playing Juan Mata? That is a perfect opportunity for Donny to use his pace and play in the game. Realistically, it is.
There'll be many. Wait. There'll be many reasons for this.
We haven't been playing, Matt.
There'll be many reasons for why other players are playing in this place. He's just come in, so Ollie and the coaching staff will be looking for certain levels of everything to do with the patterns of play. Like people say there are no patterns of play. If you think there's no patterns of play, Ollie, you are absolutely deluded. But that's just madness.
There are
I think Donny came in because this Pogba news isn't new to the club that he wants to leave this year, and I don't think Donny was a target. I do think he was offered to the club, and they said 35 million. Yeah, let's take him. But I don't think he was part of all these plans. Am I saying he's keeping Donny out of the team on purpose because he doesn't like him? No, I'm not. I'm saying when he's ready, he will play.
Yeah.
When
100%.
he fits the plan, he will play.
100%.
Right now, it doesn't make sense to play him. So right now, Scott McTominay is a much better option to Ollie than Van de Beek is because he fits the plan of right now, and that's all I care about. I don't care whether it's Pogba scoring a hat trick each week or whether it's Rashford. I couldn't care less as long as we're winning games. I really don't care who it is.
100%.
The Green Devil,
I agree.
that's a scandalous. The Green Devil, that's a scandalous comment. He's not shit. He just
He's
played like shit at our team. Come on, UP, man.
Ads. You can't stick up for him no more. He's been shit for France. I've watched loads
UP.
of games. Bro, he's shit.
UP, come on, man.
Bro. For Manchester United, I don't care what he goes and does somewhere else. For Manchester United, he's been shit. Shit, it's full stop. He don't run. He don't work hard. He doesn't play for the shirt. For Manchester United Football Club, he's been shit. I'm not hearing this, he needs to go somewhere else so he can be appreciated or he will look better somewhere else. I don't give a shit. If you're not playing good for Man United, it's about Man United. You're
As a player, he's still good, bro. He's still
no,
good,
he's
UP.
not. If you're not doing it on the pitch, bro,
come
you're
on,
not doing it on the
man.
pitch. As a player, Hatim Ben Arfa is world class. But you don't do it on the pitch.
So Pogba's not class then?
Yeah, he's got a point. He's got a point because if you look at a player like Abdel Tarak, let's use Tarak, right? He's got all the ability, quality in the championship. He absolutely killed it. Came to the Premier with QPR. The guy just couldn't do it. It just for whatever reason it didn't do it. It's not all about ability. It's about how you use the ability.
Indiana, prime example. Ricardo Quaresma. He was ahead of Ronaldo. Even if you watch the Pepsi advert, with all the Brazilian players, the Portuguese players, all the world stars were there. Quaresma was the man. Ronaldo was the little boy in it. But Quaresma didn't do it on the pitch. Pogba don't do it on the pitch. So it doesn't matter.
Doesn't mean he's not a bad player then. He's still a good player though.
This is nothing new because any Juve fan will tell you that
UP, he's a good player though, bro. He might not be performing, but he's still a good player.
If you're not doing it on a football pitch, you're not a good player in the story.
It's discrediting, bro. Come on,
I'm not agreeing that he's shit. I'm not having.
He's a
shit.
UP.
To be honest,
he's a good player.
Just cut him for a minute.
Juventus.
What about Juventus?
Yeah, we've got Hang on. We got Jem in the house, and we got Jerry in the house.
Anthony Martial.
Let's be serious, yeah. Look, with Paul Pogba, the short and simple answer of Paul Pogba is this, yeah. His project has failed at Man United. Is he a shit player? No. Have Man United got the best out of him? No. So at the end of the day, he just needs to move on. He's not a shit player. He's just not, performed to a standard that he should have done when he left Juventus and he came to United. And it is what it is. He just needs to move on. Someone in France needs to take him back, and he'll probably, like a PSG, and he'll probably get the best out of him. And that's what the truth.
It's not even. A Juve fan will tell you we turned up 1 in 3 games. 1 in 3.
Indiana. I say this to you now, bro. I say this to you now, brother. Listen, right? What Gemma's just said is what I'm trying to say. Listen, I agree with you, UP. Listen, idiots who say, "Oh, our system didn't work with Pogba," that's bullshit. quality of players weren't next to him. That's rubbish as well, right? That's something that could go and fuck off as well. My point is, he just did object to the player, and to the full extent he was brought in to do at Manchester United. He failed. He failed, right? But he's still a good player, and you can't discredit the talent, bro. You can't.
Bro,
You
I
cannot.
watch players at my club, whether they play good or not. I can't tell you what they might do in the future. What they might do in the future is something that might happen. For my club, he's been shit. For Juve, they won the league, and they still win the league when he's not there. So he made no difference. The minute he left, they carried on winning the league. So for me, there's nothing special I've seen. Everyone keeps going on like he won a World Cup. There's a lot of French players in that team that won the World Cup that weren't great.
So do you think our midfielders are better than him? Do you think midfielders are better than him? All of our midfielders.
For the way they play,
and if you're going to have N'Golo, if you're going to have N'Golo Kante next year, he's going to bring the best out of you anyway.
I would say this. I hear that, Jem. And UP, listen, bro, listen. I've had many discussions with you about our midfielders and stuff, but this discussion, I fully understand your point. I listen. I might not agree with it, but I hear where you're coming from, bro. I honestly do, yeah. But I hear what you just said as well, and that's true. The midfielders that have been at Manchester United, for example, Fred, for example, yes, he's not a better player, but he's had a better career at Manchester United so far.
It's not that
he has.
Bro, you're mistaking two things, and I understand what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but you're mistaking two things. It's not whether they're a better player, it's whether they're more talented. Is Fred a better player than Pogba? On the pitch, for Man United right now, yes. Is he a more talented player than Pogba? No. That's the difference.
Agree.
That's the big difference. I'll give you an example. Was Jesper Blomqvist a better player than someone like Charisma? Yes. Was he more talented than Charisma? No. That's the difference. Because it's what you do on the pitch, bro. So Pogba is for what he's got, he's probably the most talented midfielder.
But is that to do with system then, do you think, more than anything?
No,
because
I don't think it is.
If he's more of a talented player, it's got to be something to do with who he's playing with and the type of formation that he's in. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not formation. But it is players around him.
I can't go with the system thing.
It's players around him. I'm sorry, it is. If you buy Paul Pogba, you should know what you're buying. That's where my issue is with the club. You should know what you are buying.
I'm not saying, Indiana, I'm not saying you're completely wrong, but I can't agree with that because he was still young and players they've got to change. You change, especially as a midfielder. And when players got slow.
I agree with you there.
So you can't just come in and say, oh, I want to play like this and everyone has to suit me. That don't work. Bruno hasn't come in and gone, oh, but that's not the way I play.
His fault. That's not his fault. That's the club buying him.
No,
the club should know what they're buying.
He had an abundance of talent. He had an abundance of talent, but the problem was we don't do in depth. So no one actually, our scouts, I don't know who they are. Honestly, I don't think they actually have scouts. I think we play player manager. I honestly think they play player manager. I just think, you know what? He progresses. He looks good. Come and get him in. Until Ole came in, and this is why I've always said I don't believe in a DOF because you get DOF in right now. I believe in someone doing our transfers for us, but it has to be the manager picking them. Because if you get a DOF in right now, you're going to have the same issue Lampard has at Chelsea. Is Lampard a shit manager? I don't think he is.
No, he's not a shit manager. That's the answer to that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's a shit manager.
Yeah.
I actually think he's a good manager. But you've given Lampard
defensive gem.
No, it's not defensive because he's not any person that actually understands football and actually watches managers would understand that if a manager comes in and he hasn't got any experience, but he manages to get a team last season who wasn't meant to have got in the Champions League with the squad he had on a ban, with a Mason Mount and a Tammy Abraham that's never played in the Premier. I mean, maybe Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount definitely hadn't. He deserves a bit of credit. He must have something about.
Tammy hasn't either.
I just said, I like Lampard. I do. And I feel sorry.
He needs time.
Because at the end of the day, Chelsea at the moment have gone and bought two players from Germany who they didn't know if they were going to work or not, and clearly are not working. Where you could have. You spent 130 million. You could have bought Jack Grealish instead of Havertz and somebody else, and Chelsea would be fighting for the league right now. You take Havertz out of Chelsea and put Jack Grealish there instead, you might are fighting for the league. So I feel sorry for Lampard, and I honestly don't believe that Lampard himself said, "I want Werner, I want Havertz." I don't believe that.
Can I just say something? Because I just think, personally, I think, right, because obviously I talk to Jem daily, right, and you know we tend to have the same thoughts on our managers because obviously, yes, they've both been, you know, seen as players at our clubs, and they've been pretty good, and they've, you know, left their marks as players, and obviously we want them to adapt into good managers as well. But the thing is, there are always going to be people you hang out with who tend to turn within a click. Many influencers, who I'm not baiting them out because I don't want to do that, they said Lampard is the man to win Chelsea the league and to make them title contenders. He can do this and that. He can win a trophy and he can win another trophy. One second.
I want to ask you a question involved in that. I want to ask you a question. These so-called influencers, yeah? And just answer me straight. These so-called influencers that have said all this, how many league titles do they have? How many minutes on a football pitch do they have? How much managerial experience or running a football club experience do they have? They don't have none.
No, it's just an opinion, isn't it? It's more than anything. It's just opinions.
Can I finish my point quick?
About Lampard means nothing.
Let Jerry answer it if he wants to answer it, if he's comfortable with answering it. Jerry, what do you make of it? What UP's saying?
Well, what, Lampard?
Yeah.
I think it's just that he's too inexperienced, and I think it'll take time for him to adapt. And like last season, Chelsea did have a transfer window, and he still got them fourth, which we have that all Chelsea fans need to give credit to. Because like I predict a 7th, because you lost your best player in Hazard, and you got Pulisic in, and I couldn't believe this. He still got you to fourth, and he got through likes of Mason Mount, Abraham, and then I don't know about what's happening because I think he needs a lot more time because he's still young and it's only his third season to his managerial career, and so yeah, that's all I gotta say about it.
I think what I think is the biggest problem, all right, is Chelsea, and this is Chelsea fans in general, right? I've supported Chelsea before, you know, since I was a kid, like baby, and this was well before Roman Abramovich. I used to watch the Vialli and Zola days where I enjoyed watching them play football. You know what I mean? Before we even started winning, we've got to a point now where the younger generation of fans are coming in mixed with myself and that, and they're expecting instant success when we spend money. And that's not their fault. It's just because in the past, that's what Chelsea have done. When they've spent money, they've brought in these top quality managers and they've won things. What they're forgetting about this year is, yeah, they spent 259 million, but we've got a manager that ain't a Jose Mourinho or a Conte or an Ancelotti. Yeah, and it's not going to click straight away. It might take a bit of time. He's going to make mistakes. He's learning himself.
100%.
You know what I mean? And that's the fucking problem we currently have.
What those fans have to remember as well is when Jose Mourinho came in, he had a Claudio Ranieri built team, which people don't forget. Claudio Ranieri won the league with Leicester. When people like Ancelotti come in, he had a team built by other good managers like Jose Mourinho and that. So they had a winning mentality, and they also had a core there in the Terry, the Lampard, the Czech, the Drogba. There was a whole core there. Ashley Cole, you had a core there.
Yeah.
Now Lampard hasn't really got a core.
I haven't got any leaders. I haven't got any leaders on the pitch.
And you know what it is? What's going on at Chelsea now is their fans and these kids who play FIFA and all that, who've seen Werner, he's good on FIFA, Havertz, he's good on FIFA. These fans have jumped on and gone, oh, Chelsea are title because they're going to win the league this year.
Yeah, no, don't work like that. It takes it. You know,
they're not even good on FIFA.
You can't buy 7 players
and win the league.
It don't work like that.
No. This is the problem I'm having at the moment.
It's not even. I say this right now. As like back to my point as well. Right, as me and Jem, as you know, guys know, obviously I'm good friends with Jem, and obviously I've been introduced to the Chelsea community by there's many people there, right, and there are many people who voice their thoughts. I don't care, like you said, UP, they have no footballing experience, but it's just an opinion, right? They said, and everyone here can back me up on this. They said Lampard can do this, he can win the league, and he can win another trophy on the side. That's what they said. And listen, with Wolves, the facts are, these are facts. when they even lost to Wolves, they said it's not Lampard's fault, and they kept the same energy by saying that they can still win the league. 1 second, UP, 1 second, UP, 1 second. And then, listen, they kept the same energy after a loss, a hard loss to Wolves, right? A team that they should be beating with their squad as well. They kept the same energy saying, we can do this and that. And then they lose to Arsenal, and they say and turn around and say, yeah, but I didn't believe in Lampard anyway. I don't think he's a man who can take us places. So that just tells you that the Chelsea fan base are the most reactionary fucking fan base at the moment.
That's all fans. Listen, these big guys, when Ole first come in, it was we're back. Ole's this, Ole's that. Then look, bro. Listen,
when Jose Mourinho left, oh
by
my
the
god,
time the
everyone was
new season
celebrating.
started and we had a little bit of a hard start, Ole was meant to be sacked come Christmas. So
Same
telling me what these guys, they're all reactionary.
Yeah.
Telling me what these guys said. People have been saying Ole's getting sacked by Christmas. We've just gone past the second Christmas, and he still hasn't been sacked.
We're second in the table.
And these men are still chatting.
In the table.
So you can't talk like that. Listen. I had a man tell me last season that Arsenal had the third best attack in the league.
That's a load of bullshit, isn't it?
That's bullshit, bro.
Yeah,
Arsenal have the third best attack in the league. I had a man tell me that. Yeah,
we know where. We know where that. Well, lads, we all know where that came from. We know who that came from. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning no names. You'll know who it came from. The third best attack in the league, Arsenal, because people reacting.
No, that's just Arsenal fans. They are the most deluded fans. I'm no offense, but I know, man. I swear. I had DT come on the football terrace and tell us all that we were that the only way Arteta can finish above Chelsea and United is if Ole and Lampard stay at their clubs.
Oh, I remember.
Listen, bro. That's comedy gold. It's got. Listen, you know what, bro? I'll say this right now.
The ball final,
man. Arsenal,
you know what I mean? That's how crazy they are.
Yeah, but that's just but
listen,
come up the delusion.
Yeah, go on. Is any Arsenal fans in here?
Yeah, one above your head on the left, Anthony.
I actually feel sorry for Arteta. I mean that. I genuinely mean it. Don't get me wrong, I think he could be getting a bit more out of Arsenal. He's done that in the last 2 games, but I genuinely feel sorry for him. I think your transfer policy has been so shit for so many years now. It's disgusting, and I genuinely mean that. I think I don't remember the last time Arsenal went and bought any top British talent. I mean, developed, not kids they got so developed. And I don't remember the last time Arsenal went and bought any good players. Okay, I'll stop shouting. And I can't remember the last time Arsenal bought any players from the Premier League who were established. Like,
no, they don't. They always got a habit of buying.
It's not even that UP. It's not even that UP. I'll say this to you now, mate.
They've never done it at Arsenal.
Exactly.
They've never done it at all.
I talked to
basically when Wenger was in charge. Wenger was all he had like a budget to spend.
That's why you guys
I mean, I can remember when.
No, that's why you guys went downhill.
Yeah,
because if I from my lifetime, and I'm 35 years of age, but from my lifetime, your 2 best ever centre backs I've watched at Arsenal are Tony Adams and Sol Campbell.
Yeah, I 110% agree.
And instead of
I agree with that,
in the last 10 years, I've seen Arsenal buy Gabriel Palista, that Greek geezer. I've seen you buy about 10, 15 different centre backs that apparently when you got them in, they were going to be the best things in sliced bread. When I'm not saying
Indiana, bro.
I'm not saying the guy's great, but you're better off going and buying a Connor Cody.
I'm going to be honest with you, right? Gabriel is I don't like Gabriel, mate.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Yeah,
I just think he's absolutely shit. How can you buy a defender that's meant to improve your squad and you're now fighting for relegation? You were better off last year without him, with Socrates and David Luiz, and now you've got fucking Gabriel and you're 14th.
Yeah, Socrates, I feel bad for him.
I honestly think.
Really? I don't feel bad for Socrates, man.
Gabriel and Connor Cody, I think that'd be a better team.
Yeah, and I'll say this now. Can I say something quick?
I mean, you look at who Gabriel's got.
Go on, man.
You look what Gabriel's got. Who he's got playing next to him? Bellerin.
Oh god.
I mean, what a bag of shit that is. You know,
And now
he's got
his
no
pace
one.
is
He's got
gone.
no
Now,
one to
now his pace
partnership
is
him
gone.
in the
I say this
centre
to you now.
back.
Now his pace is gone. Now his pace is gone. Everyone's realizing like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't have gassed him up too much. But what was there to gas other than his pace? Let's be real, lads. There was nothing else, was there? Come on. He was never going to be the next best thing.
Scored a good goal for Chelsea.
Like these. Listen, this is when FIFA 15 was new as well. This is. Jemson's going to go in a bit. Jem, take care, bro.
A bit.
But yeah,
Yeah,
say,
you
like,
yeah. I'll talk to you in a bit. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
take care, man.
thank you, sir.
Yeah, man.
Like this is this is FIFA 15 days. This is like when this is when I first got it as well. And you know, all these 12-year-olds, all these fucking stinking sweaty 12-year-olds saying, yeah, this Bellerin kid is gonna do bits at Arsenal. Fuck off. He was never gonna do anything.
No, he was good.
If you think that he wasn't good.
He was good.
Average.
He's just dropped. He's dropped off. When he came in, Bellerin was actually doing it. He was actually doing all right. He just regressed, and that happened with the whole Arsenal team.
He moved to fashion.
No, but get selling.
Do you believe? Because this is what I honestly believe, and this is where I think Man United and Arsenal went wrong for a few years as well. When Leicester won the league, and Man United and Arsenal both needed a midfielder, Man United and Arsenal needed a good right winger, Man United and Arsenal needed a good striker. Do you believe that at least one or two of Mahrez, Kante, or Vardy should have been signed by them clubs?
Look at that.
But they would have been signed up. In all fairness, that was a season that Arsenal should have won the Prem.
Arsenal meant to get.
Arsenal
Look at that comment, lads. Look at that comment, lads. Look at that comment. Arsenal will have 9 centre backs and still need 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Green
That's true.
legend.
That is true. That is true. We have got 9 centre backs at the club, and we do need to. We need them all to partner with Gabriel.
I want to ask Anthony this. Anthony, who would you bring in? Because personally, if I was Arteta, I'd bring in another centre back to put next to Gabriel, and then I'd actually get a decent backup as well. Because all the backup you have is shit. So who would you bring in as a centre back replacement?
Oh God.
Phil Jones is available.
Bailey? I would buy Bailey. He has no future at United.
But yeah. I was going to say, but he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing for Man City at the time. He was on the bench and all that. I was going to say Stones, but now he's sort of gradually coming to the squad, hasn't he? And he sort of started playing Stones now, so he's been playing really
Same with
well.
Bailey though, Anthony.
Yeah.
Stones has done well.
But he's doing good for United now.
Yeah.
Bailey is a great defender. Great defender.
Nah, the last thing they want is Bailly, man, because he's already injury prone. Arsenal have got a track record of ruining.
He's a good player, though. He's a good player. You take away his injuries, he's a great centre back.
He gets injured too much.
Yeah, but also I think we need another player to play alongside Partey as well. Xhaka's not good in long
You only have Basuma, Partey, and a decent cam. The fluidness in your midfield would be brilliant.
Nah, but Zoom's a bit overrated now. Come on, he plays for Brighton for a reason.
Hey,
bro, Basuma. Just watch Match of the Day. I tell you everything about Basuma. But Anthony, I honestly believe if Arsenal want to make any sort of statement under Arteta as well, you guys need to go and sign someone like Connor Cody, and you need to go and break the bank for Jack Grealish.
But Connor Cody wouldn't go, remember?
Jack Grealish.
He's a captain at a Premier League club.
Trouble is though, you don't know what's into Arteta's plans, do you? You don't know what Arteta's got in frame of mind, because in all fairness,
Arsenal's in a big club. They can still sign players.
I agree. They still got a bigger pool than Tottenham right now. They've still
in
got
all
a bigger
fairness,
pool than Tottenham.
you heard me earlier. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I don't want Arteta. I'm Arteta light.
Yeah, and I don't blame you either, mate.
I don't blame you because of what's going on at Arsenal. I know what Indiana just said, that they've got bigger pool than Tottenham. The only reason why they don't at Indiana at the moment, my opinion at the moment, the only reason why they don't is number one, Jose Mourinho. Number two, if you get chance,
no, I think as a club they do. I think as a club they do.
As a club, but what I mean is, if you get a chance right now to go and play with, and Andy, I know you're going to hate this, but if you get a chance right now at a smaller club to go and play with Mourinho, Son, and Kane, or Arteta, and some of them players over there, you're going to get that.
You pick Mourinho, Son, and Kane. You pick Mourinho, Son, and Kane. Yeah, you would.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the truth. We saw it at Man United at one point. A couple of players tried to go Chelsea. Essien done it, and Mikel done it, because at Chelsea looked like it was the new best thing, and then Jose Mourinho there. So we saw players do it at Man United at one point as well. So listen, it all depends what's said to them as well, what they get in, what's said to them, how the manager convinces them. But I honestly believe, I think Arsenal, I think their next 3 or 4 signings need to be top players from the Premier League, just to give you that boost. You know, it's a ready-made player.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's on about
signing players from other leagues who might become it. They get over here and they need 2 seasons to settle in. You guys ain't got 2 seasons for them to settle in. Yeah. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I mean, everybody's saying about, you know, like players from Norwich. I mean, Norwich is our championship team. Why do we? All right, Max Aarons. I do agree with that. Max Aarons from Norwich. I do like Lewis Dunk from Brighton. You know, but that's
Why
it.
is everyone laughing?
I should not.
Ads.
Oh god. Indiana bad. I'm sorry.
I'm not doing any facial expressions on purpose. That's just my face.
Yeah, not on purpose. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
That's the only two. But the other players, what they want to get in, they have got aim of fire. You just can't rely on just saying to around saying, oh, sign a couple of players from Norwich and 1 or 2 from Brighton, because that ain't really going to get you anywhere.
I have a question.
There are players you can pick up though. There are players like John McGinn. John McGinn would be a good signing, I think. Like if he could go to a
great
top club, I rate
Jerry,
him.
let's let Jerry speak.
Pick up a Johnny Evans or a Connor Cody at the back. I think they would help solidify you.
Jerry,
stop saying Connor Cody.
What you got to say, Jerry? Jerry, what you got to say, bro?
What about
I mean, Johnny Evans, he's doing well for Leicester, though, isn't he? He's doing really well for Leicester. So,
Jerry, go on, mate.
And they had the better of the deal as well. I mean, I can't. Who would have known they would have replaced Harry Maguire with Johnny Evans? You know what I mean?
Johnny Evans is a top player, man. I'm annoyed he left United. I've always been annoyed he left United.
Yeah, but who would have thought they would have replaced him with, like, you know, after Harry Maguire left? Who thought they would have replaced him from Harry Maguire? Look, but he did a really good job. But he was at West Brom the season before, wasn't he? And he was doing all the, you know, he was doing brilliantly at West Brom.
He's a top player.
Yeah. I mean,
Jerry,
unfortunately, they got relegated.
Jerry, would you agree with that? Would you agree with what you heard just there from Anthony?
Like, would you like to play like someone top of player, a winger, like Jack Grealish, for example? Would you want him?
I'd take Jack Grealish.
Yeah, anyone would take Grealish.
And anybody take Grealish. Therefore not to.
But any team in the league. Any team.
In all fairness, it'd be Jack Grealish should be going to one of the Manchester clubs. He'll either be
All I'm gonna say to you is
Man United or Man City, maybe a Liverpool.
I don't want him to either. I want him to. I want him to. I really do want him to. But the thing is, right, I'll say this now. The difference between Arsenal and Tottenham at the moment is one team doesn't act promptly and the one does act promptly. There's a difference, right? It doesn't matter what manager you put in charge of Tottenham, yeah. They act promptly. As a club, they act promptly. The managers not take full control. As a club, they act promptly. Prime example is when Pochettino was out the door and they got Mourinho in. They will make decisions before the manager does. They'll make decisions before the manager does, right? And if Grealish is wanted, he will get to the club he wants to go to and the club that want him there as well. So let's just see who fights and gets him. Now, I want to see that.
I like what the Green Devil just said, to be honest.
Arsenal have sold players
into their current team. Giroud, Ramsey, Martinez. He's right. Even Jack Wilshere.
He is, yeah. You lot have wasted players.
I can't believe you guys let Ramsey go. That one still shocks me till today.
Yeah, that's mad.
That's mad.
I think that was to do with money as well. Juventus offered him a wage as well that, you know, they've offered him a wage that Arsenal didn't want to offer him. So that was that on that one.
I think Ozil had a lot to do with that.
A little bit with Basil's wages, yeah.
Guys,
but
I'm out of here. Thanks for having me on.
Take care, Unofficial, man. Take care, brother.
Yeah.
Take care, man.
Unofficial, thank you so much for coming by, mate.
But there is a rumour that Ozil might be on his way in January to Juventus, but they're only going to offer half of his wages.
they need players out, Juventus, before they can buy. They have to get rid of players.
Yeah,
That's
so
why
they're on about
Ronaldo's been on links to get out of the
if
club.
they offload players.
That's why you always laugh.
Like
If they
Jerry,
offload players,
Jerry and Indiana, man. Put his
they
mad
might
expressions.
they might get they're on about having Ozil and playing after his wages if they can get some players out of the club, because their wage bill is so high at Juventus. It's
Yeah.
exactly the same as Barcelona and Real Madrid. All this is what this discussion is about, all about. The stream. These top players have got their wage bills are so high. It's been affected by COVID and all that. They ain't got the money coming in, so they got to offload the players. And this is why the players they want to offload are not necessarily the players that they're playing in the first team. That's why they're deteriorating down the league. That's why the leagues at the moment is like what Matt was saying. The English league, Italian leagues, Spanish leagues, German leagues, they're all it's changing all the time, constantly changing.
It'd be weird for you though, Anthony. I want to ask you as an Arsenal fan, mate. Would it be weird to see Ozil actually return? Would it feel surreal?
It would, but in all fairness, I think Arteta would be a bit of a prick to play him, because I haven't rated Ozil for like 5 years.
Is also an
rated him
Arteta
at all.
problem or a club problem? I've never understood that.
I think it's a bit of both actually. Ozil hasn't helped the situation. I think it was Wenger that gave him the pay rise, wasn't it? And obviously everybody sort of was performing on the pitch. Ozil wasn't playing. He wasn't getting picked. He wasn't getting selected. Hey, look, I'm on 350 grand a week. I'm either on the bench or I'm at home doing something. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's an Arteta problem because he's still involved in training. You still have the players coming out saying the best player at the club is still Ozil. You should see him in training.
Yeah.
If it was a manager problem, he'd have made him train on his own.
I think with the Ozil wages, it was Casillas and Wenger's fault for that. It was both of them. Because obviously they wanted Ozil still at the club, but he wanted obviously 350 grand a week, which Arsenal's obviously never ever paid that for a bloody player anyway. I mean, look at Aubameyang. He hasn't long just had his pay rise, has he? He's not performing on the pitch.
He's only scored one goal. It's been an own one, isn't it?
It's an own one. It's been an own goal.
Own goal.
It's in Europa League.
Yeah.
An own goal. This season, right?
Yeah.
It's weird what contracts can do, isn't it?
To be fair, it wasn't a bad header.
Yeah, but it's a complete joke at Arsenal at the moment. I mean, after players, they got to get rid of the deadwood. They got to get rid of half the players there that's already, because you still got players that Wenger's bought in, a couple of more players that Unai Emery's obviously bought in. I mean, Martinelli, to me, is a good player. That's one of the good players that Unai Emery actually bought in.
But you're going to burn him out. The problem is, if he's the only player who can perform, he's like 18, 19. How old is he? 20, 19?
19.
He's 20
19.
now.
You're going to burn him out. Like that's the issue I have with Man United and Rashford, because Rashford's our best performing attacker. We're going to burn him out if we're not careful. Young player. Yeah, but
look at that.
Bruno's a bit different because he's 26 and he's a bit more manageable, and we've got more players in that position to do that role. Not as good as him, agreed. But with Martinelli and Saka, these are your two best players going forward right now. Your most consistent players, and that's a worry because you don't. Clubs like Man United and Arsenal, you don't want these players to be playing unless there are top players, seniors in front of them, and then you bleed them in. That's the issue I have with it. It's like
that young defender as well. What we got, Saliba, he's 19. I mean, we haven't forced him to play. I think there's a bit of friction going between him and Arteta. I don't think they get on. Rumors is he could be going somewhere else for like 30 million.
Yeah, that you wouldn't want that though, Anne, would you, mate? Because he's actually talented, Saliba.
Well, to
you
be
don't
honest
know that
with
because you haven't seen him play in the Prem.
No, we haven't. And to be honest with you,
he might just have a good haircut.
Unai Emery buy, wasn't it? That was a new Unai Emery buy. That was.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, he should. I think he had that incident. I think his was it one of his parents passed away? His mum. Going back a couple of. I think it was going back about 2 months ago or something like that. But I know it's hard for him, like after like being a 19-year-old doing that, but just they should have offered him game time, just eased him in, like you know what I mean. After that, and said, look, you're going to play today. We give you a half. See how you get on.
Has he even played a game yet?
That's a set.
No, he hasn't really played a game. No,
That's a
he hasn't
sad
really played a
side.
game at all.
That's the deep side of playing the youth as well, because there are, like Indiana said about Bruno Fernandes and stuff, right? There are players in our team who don't have the high quality that he does. For example, like your Freds and people in other departments, like your Luke Shaws and stuff like that, right? For me, I don't think in the long term that I've actually seen him play. So obviously, Fred did have a good season last season, but this season he's really upped his game, and that's what I expect from him as well. He does not burn out. He's like a battery that's on charge, 110%. He never seems to really go out of breath or struggle to keep 100% pace on, and that's what I want from our players.
Nor does Mo Farah, but I don't want him in my midfield either.
Exactly. And you know what? But the problem is, right? They're experienced players. They're 27, and they're either in their prime or developing into their prime. And Martinelli's a kid, right? And if you're going to play him so many games in a row, and you're relying on him because there's all the other players and their options aren't performing, that's going to burn him out. It's like if we're going to injure him, or he's going to feel like, if I'm going to be expected to play all the time, especially in these tough games, why are there no more options around me in case I get injured? Like, we already saw that he can take an injury and get back up, but it's only a matter of time before it's a serious one and he gets put out for quite a while. You know what I'm trying to say?
And Arsenal have got a real track record with especially forward players. And I don't know whether it's the training ground, whether it's the coaching staff they got there, the physios, the medical staff. But when you look at these players, they get injuries like Danny Welbeck, Theo Walcott, Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey, and now the Martinellis. Like all these forward players seem to pick up a lot of injuries. And I don't know whether it's the training regime, like the high presses. I don't know what it is.
They're all quality as well.
I know it's that. They always have. I mean, I can remember when Buddy Oxton Chamberlain was injured and he was out for a while.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I think it's. I don't know what it is. I think what it is with Wenger's style of play, he tried bringing the continental football into the Premier League, didn't he? Like with all the flair and all this and that. And he did do that. He did. In all fairness, he didn't do it too bad, did he? Like obviously when he first come over here and that. And, But
no, it was good.
Yeah, but I think to be honest with you, I think these players sort of like we was getting new to playing it, and plus obviously the defenders was new playing against it, if you know what I mean. And then I think they were going in with nasty injuries. Yeah, they found out nasty injuries and things like that. But
that's Liverpool in the next 2 seasons.
What?
Found out.
Sonny's just like, there. What? Sonny's like, what?
No, because Klopp actually has a plan B.
What's your plan B, Thiago? Come on.
Thiago?
Man's made a butter pastry.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. When he's fit, I mean, look, the way he got injured. Fit, no, listen. The way he got injured isn't because he's injury prone. It's because Richarlison almost snapped his leg.
Oh, yeah.
Am I wrong? No.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's amazing at his age to only have one injury.
Very
outstanding.
Jerry's gone.
See, Jerry's had enough, man.
He had enough, mate. He was like,
Jerry.
He was like, don't speak to Thiago like that.
Jerry's just looking
really cool. Guys, you want to shout out your social medias, let everyone know where they can find you. Might as well end it up there. We've been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes.
It's been good, man. It's been fun.
Cheers for me on, man.
Nearly 1:30 in the morning as well, guys. You've done well.
Jesus.
It was tough, wasn't it? It was tough. LFC Sunday as well. Guys, shout out your social medias. Let them know where you are. Anthony first. Go for it.
I'm not on. Well, I'm just on Facebook and Instagram. That's the only thing I'm on. I didn't do a show like this, so. But I tell you what, Matt. Thanks for having me on because it's the first time we've been on. I quite enjoyed it. Entertaining as well.
You're on for 2 hours and 13 minutes. Well done to you, mate.
I've had to charge my phone twice.
I kept getting messages. Keep it going. I'm like, what? it's from that not from the group, but like personal ones. I'm like, okay, I'll keep it going. Okay, fine, but fair enough. And I only see like two people watching. I'm like, what? Why do you? Because you're bored. You and your own person. All right, okay. There's only two people watching, but yeah, not really. Sonny, go for it, mate.
Yeah, man. Cheers for having me on. I've got a YouTube account, LFC Sonny, and I've also got a Twitter, LFC Sonny. And yeah, that's it. Cheers for having me on, man.
Cheers for coming on, Sonny, mate. Much love. Ads.
Yes,
well.
Yeah, you can find me at Zills on Twitter. Obviously, going by the name the youngest podcast reg. That's obviously TYPR. And yeah, man, you can also find me on Indiana's channel, Sonny's channel, and many other channels of the community.
And Indiana.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, firstxi_TV, and the first 11, that's first XI on YouTube. We've got Friday Night Forward Watch and some big shows coming up. Some shows with Matt, and catch me on the Football Terrace as well. So if you haven't subscribed to those, go and do that. And if you haven't subscribed to all these people, follow them. Make sure you go and do that now. Hit like on the video. You know what to do, people. Come on.
Thank you, Indiana. Before we go, I've got someone here who wants to say hello to you all.
I bet it's Prime. Oh, look at that.
I know you're new to StreamYard, but there's a button on there. You click the three dots and you can kick him out straight away.
Shit, you're right. Banned from studio. Kick from. I would.
There he is.
Because your TV broke, you wanna abuse me. Because your TV broke, you wanna abuse me, Indiana. That's me.
Well, I can't hear I can't hear what you're saying.
Prime, about 2 hours ago, we sent you the link. 2 hours later.
Speak again, Prime. Let me see if it makes sense the second time around.
I was with Kai, that's why.
I had a look at the channel. They were all crying about Chelsea. I remember. Should Frank stay? Should Frank go? Is it Frank's fault?
Wait,
Indiana, what's going on? What's going on?
I'll tell you what's going on. Your TV's about to break tomorrow.
Is it?
Wait, what?
Oh, I can't do it. Is it? Leave my TVs alone, man. What's wrong with you?
Talk to your kids, not me.
Leave those kids alone. Or TV.
But yeah, you guys were doing an outro. Sorry, Indiana rudely interrupted.
Look, Prime. Let you finish. I even saw the outro. Oh my lord. Prime, all right. Then
Prime's just jumped in here so he can do his socials. That's what.
Yeah, we actually don't do that.
Then I saw the profile picture that you came up with, Prime. It was like very trippy. There, look, there. Devil. You're a United fan. There you go.
Horny devil.
Does it say Devil's Advocate on that?
Yeah.
He switched it up straight away.
Oh god. Right, man.
My guy.
Hey, Anthony, this is what you call actual banter, by the way. They're meant to.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. It wasn't much of a bloody Bruce, was it? Let's be honest.
Yo, Matt, let him shout out his socials.
Prime, I'm gonna let you have the camera for a minute. Do whatever you want. Shout out. Yeah, it's down to you, mate. Here we go.
I'll make a cup of tea.
Yeah, follow me on Ladimus Prime X, where I'll be keeping you up to date with minute by minute progress of the breakage of Indiana's TV.
Fuck you, prick. Go on.
Yeah, also follow the First 11 on YouTube, where next week Indiana will be telling us whether his TV is broken or not. Follow LFC
and Prime will
Sonny.
still be in that green hoodie.
But I can wash my hoodie. You can't wash your broken TV. But follow LFC Sonny. Follow LFC Sonny on YouTube, where he does previews, match reactions to Indiana's broken TV. It's quite awesome. Follow GNA TV. They do football content, Man United, Chelsea, all of that sort of stuff. It's quite interesting as well. Follow my channel, that is Prime.
We talk about Indiana's broke TV.
Well, I sit down and do interviews with people. No, Sonny. My channel, I only have people on who have working TVs. So Indiana, and
You don't even own a TV.
That's a working TV.
You don't even own one.
What's that?
Where? Oh,
Wait, what's what?
Oh, we missed it. Show it again.
TV.
Can you see it?
Yeah, TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Indiana.
Is that the one you got to put 50p in the back of the box?
Indiana.
It's like a JCB mobile phone. Do you remember them?
No, I don't. I'm not that old. Sorry. Also, make sure you follow the Football United TV, where we just talk about football and stuff like that, and interesting content, good content going now with Matt. And sometimes we might talk about Indiana's broken TV. Who knows?
I'm glad there's not more people because I was bored by the time you got to ads. So.
Yeah, but Indiana, your TV's broken, so of course you're bored. You've got nothing to watch.
Listen, I can't show you right. When we end the stream, I'll show you my TV. It's not broken. Look, quick flash. It's not broken.
Show it fully. Indiana, show it fully. Show it fully.
No, because I don't know what it's got on it. There's something playing.
Of course, yeah.
Gentlemen, what are you watching on your TV? Come on now.
There's always an excuse.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I can show you because it's just got the HDMI.
There's always an excuse with Indiana.
There's nothing wrong with the TV, man. The TV's good.
Indiana, plug it in. We'll see what you're watching.
It looks slanted.
Watching some yeah.
It looks slanted to me. It looks like it's gonna fall, but whatever.
Prime, I'm telling you, if my kids break another fucking TV, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. You're jinxing my TV. Yeah, fuck that. I can't. No, honestly, I can't cope. When they break another TV, I'm going to lose my shit, and I'm going to take it out on you. You can laugh about it now, but I promise you, there'll be tears. Stop it.
Yeah, your tears.
Yo, hot. I not heard 17 says yo.
Yo.
Just caught us at the end of the stream. Prime just came in his chat with your socials and just bully a broken TV.
Prime, you shouted out your socials, didn't you?
Yeah. Shout out mine and talk about everyone else's as well. Oh, make sure you follow up Anthony as well. Anthony, your TV works, yeah?
Yeah, it's switched off.
Oh, it works. Okay. That's one more person with a working TV.
Sonny's is in the background, but I don't know.
Yeah. Hang on. Well, you actually probably don't hang on. It's going to take a few minutes.
Matt, your TV works?
I've heard that before.
Matt, your TV works?
What are you doing?
There we go.
My TV works perfectly. What is your problem?
It works perfectly.
My TV died on Christmas Eve.
Oh, like Indiana's. Oh.
It's the last time I let you babysit my kids.
Ads, does your TV work?
Of course it does. How would I play FIFA? Of course.
Let's have a look.
I'm not. Nah, come on, man. I'm buzzing, man.
I'm joking.
Ads. What happened to your stream earlier? I was watching it, and it was about to go live, and then it just cut off. Oh, you had some homework or something to do.
I did it for. I did it for. No, on a serious note, I went live, right? And obviously, I had to do a bit of work. I got a phone call. It was important, and obviously, it was a boring game anyway. So realistically, I'm kind of like, should I just do this and should I not do it and get in trouble, or should I do it and just not watch shit?
It actually came up StreamYard, and you was on for like an hour, but no one come on. I was going to come on because I felt sorry for you. I thought, I got to come on, and you just went off.
I didn't get the link out. I didn't leave it out. I forgot to as well. I was kind of like, it's boring game. No point in me, continuing it after the second half. I was kind of like, first half done. No point. Yo, we got half an hour.
Why are you so happy, Prime? Are you looking forward to the Spurs game?
Looking forward to breaking TV.
Well, you won't be able to watch the Spurs game on that broken TV, mate. Trust me.
What is this?
Well, we're talking about the breaking.
Prime knows something we don't.
Sure.
This is my new form of
Prime
entertainment.
thinks he knows something we don't.
I have not won 2 back-to-back games, so this is my form of entertainment now.
And Chelsea have been terrible, yeah.
Yeah.
So that has to be our only form of entertainment.
Hey, Indiana, it's okay. Take it out on Chelsea just because your TV's broken. That's fine.
Yo, Matt, we've been coming in 5 extra minutes to talk about fucking TV.
Right, I'm sorry. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Go subscribe to everybody. Thank you for this really fantastic chat and au revoir, mon chéri.
I'll stop.
Yeah, Matt, thanks for having me on.
Are you going to stop when the stream ends, bro?
No, he'll be ringing me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, is your TV all right?
When have I
Skype calling me and all that.
When have I ever done that?
Oh dear.
It'll be like a WhatsApp call. Like it'll be saying like camera on. Just
No, it'd be Skype. He never uses WhatsApp now. It's too big in the game for WhatsApp now.
Take care, people. Have fun.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Prime, you're such a Jose sexual man.
Yeah, relax. Just because Fergie's a fraud, relax.
Hey!
Guilty as shit.
He's not a fraud. TV breakers are frauds, man.
Oh man, we're actually still alive, are we not?
Oh my god, it's literally 1:30 in the fucking morning and we're talking about fucking broken TVs.